Be quiet, don't move. Be quiet, stop talking. Be quiet, don't move. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Stop walking. Be quiet, don't move. Be quiet, stop talking. Be quiet, don't move. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Be quiet, stop talking. Somebody. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking. Somebody's talking. Quiet, stop talking.
Is that at his volume on?
I do.
Howdy, folks. How's everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Investigation with Pasadena Paranormal. Jared.
Brent. And
Ed. Calm Mind Crew. Everybody, please, if you could, subscribe to Calm Mind Crew. Can I say it? Can I say who's behind Calm Mind Crew? Give me the go, and I will. Like we're talking today. But everybody, please subscribe to Calm Mind Crew.
Definitely.
Ed, I think Calm Mind Crew is our sister Jane's new endeavor.
Okay.
Shadow Visions. This is a meditation channel, Ed.
Ooh, you know what?
Yep.
I was told I need that.
Well, Calm Mind Crew
We all
is
need
Jane's
to calm down.
new meditation. So everybody, please subscribe to Jane. That's our sister. She's going through a new endeavor.
I love it.
And we'll support her all the way, sis.
Calm our minds, sis. Calm our minds.
Yes, calm, because we need it. So, hey, Kendrick, what's up, man? Faja, Jennifer, where the heck have you been?
Oh, no kidding, Jen.
Jennifer Cartwright. Hey, I know it's it's like 2:00 in the morning over there. Thanks for coming. We appreciate that.
For real.
I hope everything's good, Jen. So, yeah, we're going to get into a few things. We're going to show you some behind the scenes of how we schedule some things, because we got some things to work out here, gentlemen.
All right.
But how did everybody like the way that we started off today with the new intro? Do you like that? For a little bit
Was it
before
choppy?
BTI starts?
Was Was it choppy or was it smooth?
I don't know. I couldn't see it.
So I got both screens up, and it was a little choppy on both. So I don't know if it was my signal, but if you were seeing it choppy, then I think maybe
I was watching it through the StreamYard, and it was choppy.
That's the thing is I don't know if it's
Kathy
just on
said it was
StreamYard.
great. Heather said it was great.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
trying to sign in. So
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting mixed reviews. Cassie said it was great. Heather's great. Deb said it was choppy. So, okay, we'll work on that. Kind of choppy, but it wasn't too bad. Okay, all right. Well, we'll figure that out.
Nice.
Before we get too far,
Hey,
remind me after this, Jared. I got an idea for other intros after this.
What?
Remind me, I got an idea for some other intros after this and mix it up a little bit.
All right. Hey, Steve, what's up, man? Steve, this Jacko is for you. Ghostly Sessions, thanks for coming. Download
last BTI, I kept making small drinks.
I'll look into that.
I decided to just make one big one.
That's a Mission Barbecue cup. I know that
It
cup.
is, brother. I love Mission.
So we didn't have any uploads this week, folks, because we wanted to take a little bit of a break. We have some scheduling to work out, and we have some other things to work out. I wanted episode 5, part 1 and 2 to get out to more people. So our next upload, full upload, isn't going to be until August 24th. It's a little hype video for our episode 7, Oddfellows Hall investigation.
Let me just say, when you first came at us with, hey, let's do a little hype video, I was like, I think this is brilliant. And I was expecting it to be like a teaser, like, just make you drool little clips. But it's like I was like, holy crap, you got a lot of good stuff in this.
But folks,
what is it, 20 minutes?
But like I say in the intro, you're probably going to see a little bit of that left over in the episode, but it'll be edited out. It's all raw, but there's some things going on in that. So August 24th, that's going to be a good one.
Like there's some good stuff that happens in what you put in that video. It's like, oh man, that's some. At least to me, it was big highlights. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was an awesome investigation. I can't wait to go back to September 17th.
Agreed.
But you know what? If you watch that and then you see stuff that's in the edit video, and I know I caught that in there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, or how come they didn't put this in? Because you guys might have heard something. So definitely call out those things.
Kendra, yes, I finally got the AC problem fixed.
Yeah, praise God for that. No kidding.
Jackie's next to him, fanning him right now with a big old palm leaf. That's what's going on.
That's how he worked it
here. Is it on the road in here? I don't see everybody.
I haven't seen her yet. She ain't commented.
She's
all
upstairs.
3 of us have a drink tonight, and she didn't call us alcoholics yet. So
yeah.
She's upstairs watching live PD. It's back on, folks. So
yeah. Speaking of alcoholics, I think I might have to cut back because it was like, I don't know,
you don't have to cut.
Today's my Friday. I'm off today.
Is your bills paid?
Damn right. All
exactly. You're fine.
So like 10:30, I was kind of bored, so I decided to make a little whiskey drink, and she was like, "Babe, it's 11:30." I was like, "Actually."
All right, I'll wait 30 minutes.
I was like, actually, it's 10:30. Just walk away.
Jennifer, tell Harry I said hello. I know you guys are watching.
Yeah.
You said the good thing.
Harry.
The other day, a few months ago about Harry. Tell him I said hi, and I hope he does good in school this year.
Yep.
Because school is important. I wish I would have done a lot better. But so we got a little bit of we got the show here. Going to do some updates, and we want to interact with y'all a little bit. How's everybody doing this? How was everybody's week? Mine was hectic and hell.
I'm glad it was. Mine went quick. I'm glad it's over. I won't lie. It went fast. So it was busy.
Brent will be up here soon enough to do an investigation.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm ready for it.
I'm sad I'm gonna miss that. I mean, if I wind up making it that somehow, I might be a little intoxicated for an investigation. So
That's one thing we won't do. Yep.
yeah, it's some of our real good friends. Probably one of my best friends. They have an annual party every year, so you gotta make that.
Awesome.
You got to make that, brother. You got to make that. So the one thing that I got, it is Friday, Christy. I can't believe it. We finally made it. We're here.
We made it.
You know, this week was a little rough for me, just coming back off vacation. So you got beat that post vacation funk.
Oh yeah. So I got some bad news. I contacted Jan today out of BHH, and November 5th is a no-go because it is their craft fair.
Wait, November 5th? I thought it was November 19th.
Ed can't do 19th. Now, if we can do 12, maybe.
Nope.
I think the 12th.
Sorry, guys. That is well, for me, it's locked out.
So the 19th is Owen's birthday. That's my hold up on it. So
that's fair.
Let's not say 100% because we need to find out what we're doing with him. You know, so and since the investigations are later in the evening, I mean, was it if you guys want to set for the 19th, and then maybe I just come in later, but
we can do that. I can reach out to Jan to see if she wants to do the 19th. I'll check that with my my case manager and fiance as well.
Because October 15th,
I will write that down on my little notes right here.
October 15th, I think I'm doing a public tour there at BHH.
Oh, really?
So the 27th or the
I
17th.
Going.
17th, we're good to go. September for Oddfellows and the candy shop and the museum next door. That's going to be a big one.
All right, so I definitely will talk about that one.
Have we gotten those places locked in? We're still waiting to hear back.
We're 99%.
Okay.
So, and anybody who's in the chat, feel free to comment on how you guys deal with this. But
this is how we
think about how big. Think about how big that as a complex is. All right, and my thoughts on it are, typically a spot we like to move around, right? Switch things up. You guys go here, maybe go into teams, solos. But it's a lot of moving around and a lot of ground to cover. Is it too much? So, and think about also having to move equipment.
So we got the candy shop, the Oddfellows, and their history museum, right?
Yeah.
That is a lot. I mean,
that's a lot.
The way that's spread out, that's the equivalent of 4 floors right there.
Mm-hmm. Big. Well, maybe what we could do is we could just do the Oddfellows and we could do the bottom floor.
Like I
want to hit on them two more than anything.
Yeah, that's more feasible, and I agree.
That's what you want to do is the bottom floor.
Yeah, I want to peek in and see the museum and see how the museum looks, so we can. Well, Jared, you and I are going to be up there. No, that's September 17th. Town hall's in the fall.
Yeah, you're good with the town hall on the 11th. I told Des to call me. She must have been busy today. I'll get in touch with her. Yes, you know it, Jennifer. Make paranormal great again. There's too many fakers and liars and people that are in it for the wrong reasons out there.
Hey, did you text her? Did you text her when we were talking earlier, Jared?
I did. I sent her a message on Facebook.
I think they got hung up on a help desk ticket today because Kelly was on that ticket. So
to get this shirt, you got to go to the Go Get 'Em paranormal. Joe, do you merch store? Joe, if you can help us. I don't want to put any pressure on you, Joe or Jane. There's a merch store that Go Get 'Em has, and they have them. Again, all proceeds of this shirt that come back to Go Get 'Em are going to go back to the field. Okay, it's going to go. all the money that Go Get 'em makes, and we're going to carry this shirt on our merch store once we get it up and running. All the money made from this shirt and the Battleborn shirt, which you'll see me tomorrow at Gettysburg in. We'll get into more of that later.
Hey, you're going to Gettysburg tomorrow?
Hold on, man.
Yeah.
Later.
I'll be right back.
All right, so all the proceeds from that.
All the proceeds from this shirt and the Battleborn shirt that go back to Go Get 'em are going back to the field. They're going to the money is going to help paranormal investigation locations that are struggling, ones that are not federally funded or county funded or state funded, but little hidden gems that are struggling and need help. That money is going to go to them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And hello, Christina. So that's just another way that Battleborn, Pasadena Paranormal, Black Collar, Go Get 'em Paranormal, the paranormal side, spectral researchers. It's just another way that we're trying to give back to the field to make the field a better place. And that's what this family does.
That's right.
Of course, I don't mind, Ed. I mean, you could tag a lot. Where me and Jackie were just gonna. There you go. Thanks, Deb. Me and Jackie were just gonna go, and I was gonna do 2 battlefield sessions, ITC sessions from Rose Farm, and another location, which I think.
Yeah. Kelly's gonna be doing her own thing in PA with Des actually, so I'm just gonna double check with her and see.
Yep. I'm fine with that, bro.
Okay.
You can get into it too. There you go, Brent. You want to make the trip?
You pack it up right now.
So, all right. So we got Ed, another one I want to talk to you about. October 29th.
The Rising Sun, right?
That's
No,
the
we're doing
Rising
Sun
Sun public tour.
Oh, the public tour. Okay.
Public tour. I'm good for that.
Okay, good. All right. We're getting things knocked out here today, boys. So the 19th, I will contact Jan and we'll get and then I think we should take December off.
Well, I'm out in December anyway. That's a month off for me as it is. That's Christmas, man.
And then that'll give me a month to work on. There's a bunch of locations that I want to work on. Yes, Jennifer, you have missed a lot. You need to watch the investigation series playlist because things have been getting good on that. I mean, I think that you've seen the first one. Yeah.
I honestly have not screamed and freaked out on anything, and my nipples haven't gotten hard from anything. So I'm obviously improving and maturing.
Yes, we all get better with age,
That's
like
right.
a fine wine.
Like a
Right?
fine
Like
wine.
a fine wine, folks. All right, so I'll contact Jan about the 19th. All right, Ed.
Yeah, if I can't make it, y'all
come a little
do
bit
it
later.
without me. Yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, I might make it in there later than usual, but if I wind up not making it, you guys know what to do. I mean, you don't need me.
Yeah, we know.
We do need you.
We do need you. You are a part of the team, but
you guys are able to function.
We can make it by and functions. You know, just someone needs to be there to make sure Jared doesn't get in a fight with a ghost. That's all that matters. At least one of us is there to keep him from beating up a ghost.
Crafty on a budget. How are you, Jennifer? I'm going to make you blue. You can be a moderator on this channel if you feel like it. I think this is your first live stream on here. I can't believe you're here though. It's like,
yeah, I'm excited. That's awesome. Maybe see Jen in a minute.
235 over there. My goodness.
Yes, that's right, Jen. I know it. I'm not ashamed of it.
Sometimes when he was younger.
When I was younger. Yeah, in them early days.
So tomorrow, I'm not going to make a link for it. I'm not going to make a link for any of them. Just keep an eye out on YouTube tomorrow. It's going to be afternoon because I got to take my son to work at 11. And but
What's the weather
I'd say around 1:30. beautiful.
Oh, nice.
It's supposed to be in the 70s. So I can't
That's
wait.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, so I just want to say something here real quick for everybody that's in the chat. A lot of this that we're talking about now, this stuff gets through during text during the day.
Yeah.
I don't get a signal during the day at work. I work in a secure area. So when I leave work, my phone sounds like fireworks on New Year's Eve. Just ding, 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 and it's going off like crazy.
It goes on with this team. But
And
hey,
somewhere along the line, there's a Ed's in the bunker. He can't respond.
Yep.
that's why
That's
I love this.
because I'll throw out like 5 questions to like in the chat, in the group chat to you. And Jared's like, he's in the bunker, bro. And I'm like, I know, but you'll see it.
Sometimes I go out for lunch, you know. Starting on Monday, though, I'm going on a new diet. So I'm going to be doing some cardio. So I'll probably be going out for a run. And my phone's going to be blowing up. I'm trying to run.
Another thing is we got to get this Laurel review done.
Yeah, that's another big one on my
We got to get this Laurel review done because we got to get that episode into their hands.
Yep.
I think once the review is done and turned into me, I could probably get it done in a couple days.
Yeah, I think I'm like
I'm trying to knock it out by
I'm
Tuesday.
more than 3/4 away done with my clips.
Okay. All right.
I haven't started yet because of vacation, and the last week I've been in a funk. So I'll start working on mine tomorrow or Sunday. And
I will say
by Tuesday I'll get it knocked out.
Ed, I will say, I told Jared this. I'm not going to say what it says on here. Too much of a spoiler, but we got an EVP that is just wicked. It said real fast, like clear. You can hear it really easily, but it's like speaking real quick, and it's talking about you and what you're doing. And I had to listen to it like, I don't know, 20 times. I was like, what the heck?
Hey,
And then shortly after that, Jared gets mocked by an EVP. He says something, and a mocking spirit, like it says, doesn't sound like Jared, but it says exactly what he says. Real deep voice. I was like, what the?
I've got to ask, did either one of you guys, have you gotten to yet, or have you done my attic session when it's me and Jack in the attic yet?
No, not me.
Oh, man.
You have that.
I have that? Oh, I was hoping when you guys had that.
I have the one where it's us 3.
Okay. Because the one with me and Jackie in the attic, I mean, I was really.
Yeah, I did do that. There's some direct flashlight responses.
Yeah, I was really hoping one of you guys got that instead of me, so that way it takes my bias out of that. But
yeah, no,
Brent, when you see it, Brent, you'll be like, "Holy shit!" Ed was.
All right, I'm excited.
I was locked in on that one. I feel like I was locked in on that one.
I got a real good EVP inside Oddfellows. Hey, Amber. I hope the little goat's doing good with his magic shoes.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I have to ask because you guys would know who is Kendrick Paranormal because they said I should feel special, which I do. I mean,
Kendrick. Yeah, he's cool. Kendrick's cool. That's Scott. He's
because honestly, I mean, you guys invite me to open up and everything, and like, hey, just let it flow, Ed. Let it go, you know. And it's funny because Brent, you don't know this. I messaged Jared earlier today. I've Antietam reached out to me, and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing on September 17th?" I'm like, "I may have something locked in for that date." And I told you, I was like, "You know what? I'm just going to freelance investigate from now on."
Yeah, exactly. Freelance investigator.
It's something I brought up with Ed in that conversation. Is maybe next year we could get a big, Carlisle's going to have a big. We're going to have a lot of options in Carlisle.
Oh yeah, I agree. That's going to be a great one.
Invite Antietam there, and we could work with Antietam, and and see what they think because Rebecca, she's a member of the Oddfellows.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Have fun out there, Amber. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
If you do, name it after me.
Be safe. Be safe. Make paranormal great again with the work that you do, though. All right. So yeah, you're good for the 29th. So I'm going to Ed, if you want to handle a write-up for that, Chris is going to have a write-up, and I have no idea what the hell she's talking about. So I'm going to reach out to her and see what.
I'll write up for the.
Hey, look. when it comes to writing, I'm your guy. I can write anything. I mean, you know how many people at work I've gotten degrees just off my writing and charging them $100, $200 a
Don't
paper?
oversell it, bro. Tone it down a little bit, and then
Yeah.
then you.
No. I got to throw it out there, but yeah, just let me know what she wants. If she wants an outline,
I'm
or she
going to
wants
reach
an
out to her.
outline.
Her and her husband. Her and her husband are in Ireland for 3 weeks.
Oh, I'm jealous.
After you told me that.
So I'm waiting for her to come back. As soon as she comes back, I'll ask her what she's talking about, and I'll
Thanks,
give
Jen.
that information to you, and you can go ahead and write that up. Yeah, wait do you hear this one? This one's creepy. So the one I was talking about in Oddfellows Hall, it's Dez and it's Jackie, and they're conducting an EchoVox session, right?
Yeah.
And they're getting some information coming through on the EchoVox. And Jackie says it's saying her name. I think it's saying my name.
Oh, I do want to hear that.
It's a deep male voice, and it goes, Jared.
Oh,
It's a male. Yeah, it's deep. I was like, what?
That's
What
cool.
the heck?
Hey, I'll be right back.
So
hey, sorry to interrupt you. Real quick. The old smoky key lime moonshine. My daughter brings it to me, and she goes, "Are you drunk?" I'm not drunk.
Dad, this was full.
It was full. It wasn't full. It was.
Yes, it was.
It was 3/4.
No, it was not. That was more. It was like almost full.
Leave
And
me
it's
alone.
almost gone.
I've been
You're
to-
drunk.
I've been depressed for a week. Leave me alone.
Goodbye. Come on, Smoky. He's drunk.
he's just a little buzzed. That's all it is.
See?
He's not full drunk. You know, not yet. Skull! Skull, White Wolf. My, how the little piggies will grunt when they know how the old lord suffered.
Yeah, you know, and where did Brent go?
He said he'll be right back.
3 little shots out of it, and maybe
All right,
this much out of a
I
glass.
feed him all the time. Leave me alone.
How'd you like that, White Wolf? You like that one? Tell me who
But,
said
what was it? I just want to comment though.
Hey, Nick.
Was it,
Yeah.
having Desiree join us and her and Jackie able to take some spots on their own, I kind of like that. You know, putting 2 females together, getting the male presence out of there, and see how things go. I think they got some good interact. Just from what I've heard, I haven't seen the review yet, but from what I hear, is they got some good interaction with the 2 of them.
Jackie got touched on her leg. All right, here's a little spoiler for October 24th. Jackie gets touched on her leg, and she goes, and right as she goes down to touch her leg, through Brent's ghost box, it goes, that felt good. 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 It said it like 6 times, and she's like, she looks at Dad like, somebody just touched my leg.
Well, and you know the good thing too with having Desiree join us on some of these investigations. Desiree's also a sensitive like I am. So, and in my opinion, she's a level above me. I've kind of learned some stuff from her. And the way you guys yell at me, like you need to open up, Desiree does the same thing. She's like, stop holding back.
Exactly.
You know more than you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. What were you doing, Brent?
Giving the daughter some more juice and grabbing a new vape.
That's funny. I had my daughter bring me more juice.
I'm running out of
One
juice.
day I'll get there with her.
I only got one left. My goodness.
Already?
Already.
You're
We're
crushing
going
it.
down easy tonight, folks. I'm sorry.
You better.
You know,
All right,
this is
so
really
I
nice
think we
laid
got
back
that
regular
taken care of.
session.
Yeah. All right.
I think we got that taken care of. So on to the next. Laurel, we already got to that. We got to get that done. All right. So now we're going to get into some serious discussion. All right. Serious discussion on some ghosts.
There you go. Here you go, people.
All right. So we've all been told there's 2 types of haunts, correct? We have
I'm aware of them.
a residual and an intelligent type haunt, right? And we're going to Ed?
I answered it both.
Yes. So we have intelligent and residual. We're going to tell you our theories on both, and also the difference and how to diagnose. Also, there's a theory that residual can become intelligent over time. I don't think that can happen.
Ooh.
But in instances, I've seen it, but I still don't want to believe it. So we'll get into that. So a residual haunt, we've all been told that a residual haunt is, it can't answer questions. It's just a replay in time that happens over and over and over at a certain time. It'll replay. An imprint is left in this dimension by the past. To me, no worries, Charmaine. I'm glad you're still here. But to me, if you agree that residual is a thing, then you have to think that time travel maybe is a thing as well. Right?
No.
Right?
I don't know.
Well, hold on.
I don't quite follow, but okay.
Not time travel, but interdimensional travel, like traveling on different planes where planes can cross one another. So here's a great example: the Mandela effect. Right?
Okay.
Look, I see Brent laughing, but look, one thing with the Mandela effect, and this is like, at first I was like Brent, like whatever. The movie Shazam, right? Okay, so there was a movie with Shaq called Kazam.
No.
There's a movie that I remember from my childhood called Shazam, but Sinbad as a genie, right? That movie never existed. So was that a different plane than I crossed over, or what happened there? I know it sounds crazy, but why do I and like 5 people that I work with remember the movie Kazam, but yet when you Google it, it's like that movie never existed?
You're not remembering something incorrectly.
I could be.
I think I remember that movie as well. I think Google's trying to hide it.
I remember
They were
Sinbad being in a movie that it sounds similar. Like I remember, I can't say that I remember being called Shazam or Kazam, but I remember something like that. I don't remember Shaq being in a movie called that.
But he was. That was a funny thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't remember. Just because I don't know about it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
So my thing is that a great example of residual haunting.
I'm
is,
listening.
Gresham. Because remember, I kept seeing that lady, and I'm like, hey, this is residual, because she kept coming in the back door, through the kitchen, and back out that door. And that was her life, going through that. Exactly. But at some point, does a spirit progress themselves? Like we progress in our lives. Does that spirit progress? And then that spirit's like, hey, hold on a second. What's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? Does that spirit become awakened to their new surroundings?
Yep. So to answer Jennifer's question, the stone, it's not the stone tape theory, it's the stone tape theory. But the stone tape theory is inanimate objects such as wood, limestone, quartz, things of that nature can store energy and play it over in time. So residual, the stone tape theory goes in theory with a residual haunt. So, all right, Charmaine, we'll see you when you get back. The stone tape theory, it's like
because
when somebody says they have a haunted doll. Sorry.
Dial?
My bottle word just came out.
You're cut off. You're cut off.
Hey, I'm sorry, but when they say they got the haunted doll haunt, but when they say they got the haunted doll, that's the stone tape theory, because energy is stored inside that doll.
That's what I think that's my biggest kind of, I'm going to be the skeptic on this conversation with a lot of stuff. That's my biggest issue with these conversations. And everybody feel free to throw stones or help me out. When we say stuff like energy.
I love pork chops. Go ahead. Somebody's making pork chops. White Wolf Jack is making pork chops. I love pork chops. Go ahead.
When we say stuff like trapped energy, like what do you mean by trapped energy? Like do we understand when someone's saying that, whether it's you or anybody else, you understand what you mean? Like when we say, even like going back to the dimensions, like what is everybody talking about with dimensions? Like, do you understand what a dimension is? I mean, there's physicists out there that predict there's 12 dimensions to our, physical universe, right? Yep. So height, width, depth, and time are considered the first four. There's four dimensions right there, but you function in them. The other dimensions are functioning right along with us, Yeah. When it comes to things like energy is a stored potential in something to release and do a job. So if you're going to say that it's an energy of a spirit, what does that mean? Because a spirit, this is where I have trouble with this whole conversation between an intelligent and a non-intelligent, haunting, if you will. Because if a spirit is from a living human, then what's the energy? Are you saying the spirit is trapped in like a playback loop? So they were, because it's like if I record my voice right on a tape and play it back, that's my voice, but it's not my voice. It's a recording of my voice.
That's where I'm at, because when somebody says it's a residual haunt, it's not a spirit. That's not a spirit. It's not. A spirit is going to be intelligent. It's going to have emotions. It's going to have memories, and a residual is an entire different thing that we need to research more.
Unless here's the only thing I can say. Yeah,
you see these folks on TV like Jason Halls and Ghost Hunters. Oh, it's just a residual haunt. You don't have to worry about it. No, we have to figure out why this residual haunt is happening. Right. Like we know what's going on with this intelligent haunt, right? We got a grasp of what's going on here. How is this happening? This is where the research needs to focus.
Unless a residual haunt could be equatable to, and forgive this, but equatable to something like a mental issue. All right. So if a residual haunt is someone's physical, their spirit is released from this physical body, but then they're reliving something. They're constantly doing it over and over again. It's not that they're not intelligent. It's not that they're not aware even, or maybe they aren't aware because they're so caught up in what they're doing. I guess I can almost see it that way, in which case, if that is the key, then you kind of have that flip side of, could they snap out of it? I can imagine maybe so. But
that's what I just said.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. Devil's advocate kind of thing here.
I'm playing to both sides too. I'm trying to figure it out.
So residual energy, to me, was that person's daily life. Well, I think you stepped away for a second here, Brent. When I said Gresham, I saw that woman walking in the back door.
I didn't even say that.
And back out, came in and back out, came in, and that was her thing. At some point, does she say, "Wait a second, why am I doing this? What's going on here?" Does she become aware of what's around her? And here's a great way to think of it. This just popped in my mind. Me, I walk into a location with you guys, right? Hey, I'm here. I'm in the moment. All of a sudden, I start sensing other things that you guys aren't getting, but I'm getting. So have I crossed a dimension or a plane there? Or am I picking up on this haunting that's going on? And is it even really a haunting? Am I just adapting to what these the spirits in that location are feeling, and I'm able to pick it up easier than you guys are currently right now because of my heightened level of sensitivity awareness. Not saying that you guys aren't able to get it, but I mean, because we were Brent, you and I were someplace one time, and you're like, not that I'm trying to tap into my ed abilities here, but, and you were going on, so I'm like, no, dude, run with it. You know, like, I think we all have that ability that I have. I think the only difference is that I'm more open, and
you're made different.
I'm made a little bit different. Like my third eye is like, hey, what's going on there? You know, like it's wide like this. You guys have that third eye that's like, hey, I want to peek in here, see what's going on. You guys will slowly open up, you know.
He's like, I'm sleeping right now, man.
Exactly. And I think everybody has that ability. I'm sorry, what's up, Jared?
I said, I'm just an ITC guy that has that gut feeling on locations.
Well, that's the thing. You have that gut feeling, right?
Yes. You do. You see it. Like you look at a play, you look at a location, and you can see, like if you put a row of old historic abandoned homes in line, Jared be able to drive by and be like, that's that one right there, that one. Like he's gonna pick it out. And you're gonna go in there and be like, holy crap.
I've always had it. I've just been like,
it's true.
That one right there, that's where we need to go.
I mean, and here's one of the things that Jared brought up the other day. You know, I was in Pigeon Forge and Jared's like, hey, I know the guy that runs the Titanic Museum. What do you think about that? And I'm like, well, dude, you're going to laugh at this. But while we were in there in the gift shop, I walk up to my wife and I'm like, hey, is it wrong I'm getting these, you know, my spidey senses going over a museum that is dedicated to people who perish in a horrible accident? And I kid you not, we're in a gift shop before our little tour starts. And I'm just like, oh, this, you know.
See, that boggles my mind, though, because it kind of it makes me go different directions with this. Because, okay, are you picking up on just a random spirit that happened to be in that area? Or is a spirit actually tied to a physical object from the Titanic or around that? And that's where it comes to that, like, whether it's residual or stone Tate or, you know, intelligent, it's like, well, no matter what, we have to be dealing with I call them, it's a living spirit, you know, it's a spirit. Yeah. Maybe I'll be alive in the flesh, but it's a lie. It's a lie. There's, you know, it's still there.
Let me hop in here on you, Brent. So it's funny that you say that. Am I tapping into something from the Titanic or am I tapping into somebody that's there? Very often we've been in a store or something and I'll be walking around and somebody comes by me. I'm like, oh, and I'll walk away from that person. And I'm like, that they've got something with them. There's somebody with them. And to me, I'm a beacon, right? Like there's somebody coming on me and be like, hey, oh, wait a second, you heard me.
Exactly. You need to tell her where the keys are. She's been looking for them for 3 months.
Apparently, I have a soldier following around, right, Ed? Isn't that the case? I got a soldier following around me.
So it's funny. I want to go see a real good friend. Well, I mean, she's not a good friend, but I trust her to the moon and back. Medium, chakra lady, all that good stuff. She is completely in tune with everything, right? I go to her. She doesn't know that I know Jared. She goes, who's Jared? I'm like, you tell me who Jared is.
You stop it right now.
You have a soldier attached to you that got to you through Jared. So by me being open and not realizing I'm being as open as I am, Jared has something on him that got to him. And Jared's like, hey, come on, bud. I don't know you're here, but ride on my back for a while. And then I was like, oh, wait a second. Jared's got this guy over here that's a little bit more open. I'm going to jump on his back and ride for a while, you know? So it's very easy that me simply being in a store, I can get somebody else's, you know, energy or presence that's attached to them. And am I pick that up? Am I carrying that with me now? I don't think I am, but I've picked it up because they're carrying that energy with them. Yeah. I think we're all capable of carrying the energy with us, not knowing that we're carrying it with us.
I seen this one and I wanted to bring this up. Kindred, I'll get to yours in a second.
Yeah, let's get to Kindred.
Jennifer, I want to tell you Brent, tell Jennifer what happened on your back porch the other day
Yeah,
when you were testing out the box.
Yeah, in the garage. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
Because
the money one. Deb, listen
that
to
was in the
this.
garage. That was in the garage.
Listen to Joe and Deb. Listen to this. This is crazy.
Yeah. So when I built this, I sat in the garage and I'm testing it out. All right. So, and initially I just had the radio, going so I could get the sounding and all level done. When I detuned this and actually wanted to test out the spirit box, and I put it, turned it on, and I have it going. I think I did that at the spirit box and the echo box. I can't remember which one it was that it happened with though. But anyways, I'm sitting here testing it out and inviting spirits into this garage. Like, you can't go past that threshold, but you can come in here if you're walking around. Because I do believe spirits are everywhere. They're passing around, they're walking, they're whatever.
You're not going to escape them.
Yeah, maybe they're settled in a location, but they do pass around. It comes through, and I had dictation going. Like, it typed it out. It heard it too, and it was like, "You got any money?" And I was like, And I was like, if you just ask me about any money, no, I don't have any money to give you. I can give you the gospel, and that's what I got to give you. It was like, hold on. It was like, screw you, cracker. I'm out of here. And I was like, what? What did you just say? So, and it typed it out too. Like, I heard it.
I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Patapsco Avenue and was it Pennington Avenue.
Yeah.
And you always got a guy in that corner, And then one guy for a while had a why lie? I need beer money. That's what that's what I just pictured. Like the homeless guy on the side of the road with the sign, got money. And he's sitting there looking at your car window, Brent, like, got money.
Yeah.
If he had any money, and then called him a cracker when he tried to give him the gospel.
I was
So,
like,
Jennifer, to answer your question, yes, they're everywhere. That guy was just passing through Brent's garage.
I believe it. Invited him in.
But Kindred said,
this is a good one. This is a good
Scott
question.
said, I think one must deconstruct the spirit. It is an energy. Many objects, living and non-living, can have energy.
Well, and I want to know what's intended, what is meant by that, because yes, everything is stored potential energy, right? Everything.
And Einstein
potential energy, and every cell, that every atom stored potential energy. But I know people use the word energy in different ways. Like, oh, I feel the energy coming off of that, and it's a positive energy. Okay, what is that? Is that when you say positive, that is an emotion.
Yep.
So something that's positive, it has to have emotion. And if it's emotional, is it a conscious energy? That's where I want to dig down what people are saying, because if it's a positive energy, then we don't really mean energy. We mean a feeling. That's an emotion. And I do believe, consider spirits as living beings. All right. They're just as alive as we are, just not in a physical form, waiting for a certain day that's going to come.
And Einstein, who was one of the greatest minds, he wasn't the greatest mind. When Einstein was asked how it felt to be the smartest man in the world, he said, I don't know, ask Nikola Tesla. But that is true. Check it out. But Einstein said that energy never dissipates; it only changes form.
That's it. So there you go. Energy just changes form; it passes on and moves to something else. And
hello, Miss Solo. How are you?
Well, so here's the thing, Brent. Something you just said. You said it moves to something else, right?
A different story, right? So it becomes a fuel of stored energy for something else, or it impacts something else.
One of the greatest things I've heard came from Jared is that when we pass from this world, we don't necessarily move on to another world. We may revert back to a happier time in our life. So may revert back to a time of when we were happy, and we're reliving that happy point in our life.
I seen that look on your face. Do you remember Hancock Manor?
That's the one I'm talking about. That's where I remember you said it at.
We seen
Okay.
that little girl. We found out that she died at 63.
I mean, I hear
Do you-
you. Yes.
You
Okay.
don't remember that? We saw that
Yes.
little girl in that window like this.
Yes. Yes.
And when we went to try to investigate that place, we seen the same little girl in that book. And the guy said she died a single woman at 60.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying that a spirit keeps the form it was that it died at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that if you were born with no arms or you got your head chopped off, that your head's chopped off in death. So whatever form we go to, and I mean, I don't know what the form is, if you can even call it a form. I do believe spirits have a form. I think they have eyes and ears and they can speak, at least to each other. I mean, there's a lot here going on, but I don't know if I agree that you can go back to a happier time in your life. Like, I if they're talking to us now, my belief is they're here in this time now. It's the same, you know, they're just walking around with us. Now I know Ed's seen different things, like coming to seeing in the past. That's confusing. I don't quite understand this, and it'd be interesting to, like, if you were going to say, okay, Bob died and he went back to 1972 because that was his happy time. Okay,
Yep.
Did he choose to go back to 1972? And if he did, that would mean everybody had a choice to go back to a certain time. So why did this person choose to relive a horrific time every single moment? You know, what's the choice? Where's the time, and where are we getting that? You know, where's that concept coming from? And I'm trying to get thought process going here to question everything that we're seeing so that we can get an evaluation going.
What if it's not your happiest time?
Again.
It's your most impactful time.
Again, further research is needed.
And this is a difficult one because how do you research that?
Come up with
How do you research? How do you research a residual haunt? All you can say is, let's.
You know what I think about residual haunt? It's not spirit.
I know.
It's not spirit. It's just it's an occurrence that we don't know anything about yet. We have no idea what's going on that residual side. And for people to just say, "Oh, you have nothing to worry about. It's a residual haunt," drives me nuts because, all right, we know intelligent. We need to figure this out and why it's happening. You know, so the research needs to happen on the residual side. Need to figure that out, and how we figure that out.
I don't think at any time you're never at a point where you have nothing to worry about. And 9 out of 10 times, you know what? 99% of the time, you don't have nothing to worry about, right? Whether it's residual or intelligent or whatever the deal is. There is 1% of the time where it's like, oh shit, what's going on here? I just think that, 99% of the time, whatever's going on, it's not there to hurt you. It's there to it's like walking through the store. If I'm walking through the store and I'm buying steak and potatoes, I'm not there to stop you from buying chicken and rice. You know?
Here's another thought, and this is more of a thought experiment. So everybody chime in on this one. I would pose a question that everything that we can do technology-wise could naturally occur in our physical universe. All right. We look at computers and we look at like, wow, look how amazing this man-made computer is. Well, look at your brain. All right. The freaking computer. Okay. It's running programs that you don't even have to think about. It just naturally does it. Right. Okay. So if that's a naturally occurring technology, all right, an organic technology there, and I'm not saying it was, when I say technology, don't take it too literal. I do think we're created, but I'm just saying if we can create it, then it's possible to naturally occur in our universe. So if that's possible, is it possible that recording, we know energy can be recorded, all right? This is all energy with light and sound right now, and it's being recorded through our computer technology. is it possible that the universe does that on its own in some way, shape, or form? You know, maybe not all the time, but under certain conditions, it records, and somehow you have to have a sensory presentation that actually shows it. All right, I don't know. In which case, it wouldn't be.
Yep.
It wouldn't be
and,
intelligent. It would just be a playback.
Yep. And
So,
that goes to Kindred's paranormal. It's a time loop, specific instance of time that keeps on repeating. That's your definition of residual. But the thing is, if we could come up with a device or something that could capture that could, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel you.
if we could that we could describe what is happening in the residual haunt, like if we could come up with a camera that could see the waves of time interacting. You know what I'm saying?
I think the best way to do it would be like if we knew Gresham had, if our theory was Gresham has a residual haunt or a potential something that falls in that category, all right, it would be go back to that location and do what we can to capture it. Ed, is it happening right now? It happened last time at this time. Is it happening right now? Is it happening right now? And see if it repeats, you know? Jen asked the question. I'm going to just answer real quick. You're damn right I have. Growing up, numerous times. And through our investigations.
Hey, so can I just address something or address something here real quick?
Yep,
Combine Crew. They said that I think it has a lot to do with spiritual karmic debt that has to be right until it keeps repeating. Just
where is this? Where is this one?
The Combine Crew.
That's
But
Jane.
they said
Subscribe to that channel after we're done here.
There's a karmic debt that has to keep repeating. But what stops it from repeating? At what point is that debt paid off?
And what's the debt? Who's the debt to?
Yeah, you know.
I mean, I'm not trying to get into religious beliefs here because I think I may just opened a question like that. I don't want to get into religious debate. But if there's a debt to somebody, then or some deity, then
which takes me, you know.
Well, here's a great thing. Think about it this way. There's a loop that they're living on, right? And they're going, let's use Gresham because to me that's the best example we have right now. Gresham, we got that lady coming in the back door. She's coming into the kitchen and she's leaving, and through the kitchen and leaving, right? But then we have them talking amongst themselves. I mean, there was a great conversation amongst themselves,
Agreed.
right?
Yep.
And then here we are. We come in, and all of a sudden we've broken that loop, right?
Yep.
She's no longer coming in through the back door constantly. She's like, wait a second. These guys are here and they see me. Have we broken that residual? They stop talking amongst themselves and they're like, wait a second. These guys can hear us. They know what we're talking about, even though we may not catch them real time at that time. But I mean, Brent, you did a great job breaking that down, right? Like, whoa. They didn't know who Thagrid is. Who the hell is, how do they know who Thagrid is? How do they know about cannibalism and all this in the cold winter and everything, right? We've now introduced a new variable into their existence that didn't exist before. So have we broken up that residual haunting that was taking place? Or have
in which case was it residual at all? Was she conscious of what she was doing the whole time? Is the curious question.
Yeah,
if she's aware of us in this time and what we're doing, and that's why I say, like,
hello, Dark Shadows.
They have to be. They would have to be in our same time. So fourth dimension is time. All right. So I mean, it's like they have to see us operate and do something. You actually have to have access to that dimension.
So here's something you guys are going to be surprised about. Kelly tells me the other day, you know what Desiree tells her? Desiree told her, show me in a Bible where it says we ascend to heaven. And I'm like, hold on a second. I know who else I've heard say that before. I've heard two other guys say that before, and it's these two guys right here.
This is based on.
And I mean,
am I right?
And I'm not, and it's not to dash anybody's faith. All right. I'm
No,
all about, I believe in the word of God 100%. But I don't
We
believe
preach
what
the word of
somebody
God.
tells me the word of God says. I read it and I
exactly.
listen to the word of God and I'm looking at it like it does not say that. It says he's
We
coming back. And at that
we
point,
preach the word of God on investigation. We
that's
preach
why
the
I'm
word
here.
of God.
That's my number one reason. So,
So when it comes to that, nobody's going to tell me what I believe.
and we're not telling anybody else what to believe. So
Well,
just,
that's the funny thing. So I have,
We all
I
know.
have a lot of people in my family who are religious themselves, and when I bring up, oh yeah, I say ghost hunt because ghost hunt is the most normal term for what we do. We investigate. There's a difference here, right? But when I say, oh yeah, I'm ghost hunting, I get the looks of side eye and like you're crazy and everything else. But here's the thing. I know what I feel. I know what I sense, you know?
Nope.
Yeah.
If you meet somebody new and that person, you just like, oh, I don't like that person. That's an extra sense, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who are you to tell me that I don't know what I'm feeling? And who am I to say, hey, these guys are wrong?
Nobody's
guys are right.
ever going to tell me about Jesus. Nobody's ever going to tell me how to feel about Jesus or the Bible. The Bible is open to interpretation. That is what it's there for. Nobody's
I'm a
ever
guy
going
who used to teach Sunday
and
school.
that's why
You know?
I feel, and we're getting a little bit deeper here, but that's why I feel you don't have to house your faith. When Jesus said, when there's two men speak of me, there I am, he's telling you right there. In the New Testament, he's telling you right there. And he came here to bring a new, correct? But he's telling you in that New Testament, when there's two men there speaking of me, there I am. You don't have to go to church to be a believer in Christ.
Wherever two or more are gathered.
That's right. I agree.
Exactly.
You know, Jared knows I don't go to a, what is it called? Like a structure, you know, whatever it is, a formal building.
Brick and mortar. You don't do brick and mortar.
My family has church. We get together and that's where church is for me every Sunday.
But like Derek said, wherever two or more gathered in my name, right?
Yep.
I mean,
there it is.
But
there it is right there.
we don't need to get into religion anymore here. This is not we are based in religion and our faith, but we're not here to pitch that.
No, we're not here to pitch it, but this team
we
is
do
based.
Get on. I do preach it to the word. I'll tell you what, Jared and Ed, when you listen back and we bring out the gospel on these investigations, do things shift or not shift? Do we get interaction? Do we get things going? Like,
I think it all depends on the location we're at, really.
I think we get hate about it, and
we do.
People that spiritual desire. There are those who are against it, and those who are like, yes. So there's believers still in the on that side.
There's other ones that are like, man, screw that. You know?
Yeah, stop talking about
one at the Benson Hammond, and we got them hymns coming through. And we got responses. Right hand at his throne. You know?
Yeah, right hand at his throne, they're singing hymns. What about Gresham? I did a remote.
No worries. Steph.
And I was speaking the word, and they were, we got an EVP through it.
What about the time that me and Ed and Dez were there with Anne Arundel First Alert, and we were upstairs in the attic, and at Benson Hammond, and Jan's sitting there doing this, and Jan's a very religious person,
and she was singing, wasn't she?
She was singing.
She was singing hymns.
And do you remember the hymn came through, and she said, "What did that hymn say?" And it sounded like the hymn that she was singing. You remember?
Yeah. But here's the thing: not only was it him that she was singing, she was watching us on the live. So there was a delay between what we're doing and what she's doing.
No, Ed, that's the time that she was upstairs with us in that attic with First Alert.
Okay.
She was sitting there next to the card catalog thingy, and she was singing that hymn. And she said, "What did that just say? It sounds like the hymn that I was singing." I got good
goosebumps.
I
I know there was a time where she was sitting there and It might have been when it was all three of us there, but she was watching the live, singing a hymn in the parlor or in the gift shop. And she's like, "Hey, hold on," and she commented, "Hey, I was just singing that, by the way, guys." You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be right back.
All
Go
right.
ahead, boys, carry it for a
Anyway, yeah. So again, this doesn't need to be a conversation about that. It does, regardless of what your faith beliefs are, or obviously if you're into paranormal, then I'm going to make a strong assumption that you're obviously believing in life, some sort of life after death. At Gresham, we got statements coming through the Echo Vox that said, we live on, like we live on. Agreed. I do agree with that. They're still existing. They're still
100% hands down. I can't argue that with you.
Yeah.
And the thing is I know, like I said, I know people who are like, "Oh no, once we're gone from this earth, we go on."
Yeah. And then you have good.
I had a friend, right? And we were out in Western Maryland, and we went to I can't remember what it is, but the saint out there that's up in Western Maryland, they got the shrine tour and everything. And I'm like, hold on a second. I have a problem with both sides of this, because here we are doing what we do, and according to them, is we shouldn't be able to do what we do, but we have proof of what we do.
Yeah.
Like,
and I made a comment to that last week. Was like, I don't think we're in a position where we're no longer looking for evidence and trying to prove, stack up evidence to show our theory is accurate. We're at a point of documenting what we find. It's we're not trying to prove it. We believe it. We have enough proof to show that there is a life
theory.
Continued out. And
Welcome to the channel, Dark Shadows. Go ahead, Bern.
I totally. I see it here.
He said, "I'm a Christian. I believe in the Bible. God. I also believe that we die and go to one of three places: either heaven, hell, or if we die unexpectedly or tragically, we stay here." So it's an interesting theory, and everybody's entitled to their own interpretation of the Bible.
I mean,
everybody's entitled to their own interpretation of paranormal. Nobody's ever proven it 100%.
I would like to know what happens to me after I leave here, because if you ask one group of people, hey, you move on, you go to heaven. If I ask another group of people, oh, you're just done. But if you ask us, hey, we're still here. You know what I mean?
If you were to ask a physicist, they'd be like, "The life after death? Sure, there's life after death. Your energy changes state, and you're decomposing. You're turning into energy for whatever eats you. And your energy of your cells is being transmitted into the universe, because we all came from the same elements that came from a supernova of a star, and blah 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 blah, and it keeps on going. So everybody's got something to say about it.
I mean, like, was it today, for instance? I was at my grandparents' house, and she's my second cousin. She's moving in, and she's gonna be taking over the house. And my aunt and uncle live in the basement of the house, right? They live there. They took care of my grandparents. I walk in the house, I'm like, oh, okay. My cousin looks at me, and she knows what I feel. And she goes, no. I have to sleep in this room. I'm like, oh, honey, it's not just here in this room.
I'm sorry, you have to.
But it's the entire house. But I told her, I was like, look, they're happy that you're here. Am I crazy?
Joe's comment too.
A little bit. But you know what? That energy is telling me that, hey, you know what? The right thing is happening here, because it's a happy energy, not a sad energy.
I want to answer White Wolf.
A happy energy, not a sad energy. It's emotion. I want to
answer White Wolf right here. But White Wolf.
All right.
If you die without honor or in battle, will you make it to Valhalla?
Valhalla.
Oh, man. I feel hit personally there,
Will you make it to Valhalla? Believe me, I feel personally too, because I got that Scandinavian blood in me. I don't know if you can say it, but
Well,
people
you know
have told
something?
me that I look like Ragnar Lothbrok a little bit.
We all have our own battles.
Who wants to be king?
Just because we
Who
don't
wants
die
to be
on the
king?
battlefield, just because we don't die on the battlefield doesn't mean we don't die in battle. We all die in some kind of battle.
There you go. Everybody has their own battles, correct? So, White Wolf,
That's
Valhalla still may be calling you, brother.
I'll be right back, guys.
all right.
You know,
Without me.
Cool.
I do honor my ancestors, but I do
Love Jen.
understand that they moved on to Christ and I'm happy they did. So let me go to Joe. Brent wanted me to go.
So it says we can't prove it's real because some will always be skeptical, but we still document our findings on YouTube. Yep. Just like how science has proven numerous things. I mean, they're numerous, but they're not innumerable. There's still people that are skeptical. I mean, there's still flat earthers out there, and I'm not saying if you believe that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm just saying I think you always be skeptical.
Yep.
Where's the information coming from, and have you proven it yourself? That's really where I'm at. I'm in a mind frame of my age where I'm like, with all the misinformation and how a history book can be changed like that depending on who's in power.
History is written by the winners.
Exactly, and same thing with there's agendas behind everything, and
with the Civil War.
I'm not trying to stir up a conspiracy, whirlwind here, but the fact is, if you believe something just because someone says it, that's where I actually walked away from
history is
the
written
Word of
by
God for years because I was tired of that someone else was just telling me what it was, and I got into myself and was led back. But I take that with everything now. Okay, we're told, hey, this picture is showing all of these galaxies, in the universe that look like stars to us right now. That's awesome. But I have to think, I didn't take that picture and I didn't research it myself. So I'm just saying you should be skeptical. Even if you're toting the line, you should be skeptical because did you do the research yourself and know for a fact?
But being raised in various Christian denominations, I myself was raised Mormon. I was a Mormon choir boy in my younger days.
My family jumped numerous denominations.
And I will tell you, I had some dark times and I switched to heathenism as well. But I came back to Christ.
I still remember.
Glad I did.
I remember at one point.
I've been on both sides of the fence.
Dude, I remember one party at your house. You had made mead. And you were, I can't remember exactly what you said. It was something like, I sacrificed this to Thor or something like that. I don't even remember what it was. I remember somebody you were like, try this. And they were like,
sanctify this to Thor.
Sanctify, that's what it was.
And thanks for coming.
You handed it to a certain somebody at the party who's a devout Catholic, and they were like, I remember looking like, that's hilarious.
Yes, but I've been on both sides of the fence, White Wolf. Good night, Jennifer. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I came back to Christ.
Oh man! Go to Dark Shadow. Go to Dark Shadow. This is actually an interesting one to me.
Hold on.
I know. I'm just seeing a lot of stuff that's always been curious to me.
Oh crap! Hold on. Jared's drunk. Who are we going to?
Go to Dark Shadows Paranormal History.
There's 2 past lives.
All right, there.
I'm curious. So I'm not a believer in past life experience. I'm not a reincarnation believer.
And Eli from Eli family, Eli has got an interesting story as well with the past life, and Jack
They're so I can't explain it though. Like I'm so interested in it because when I say I believe what I believe, I'm like, there's no breaking that. It's so solid you can't break it. But I've heard some of these stories about past life experiences, and they're like the vivid detail, especially when it comes from a child. Like I keep looking at my daughter who's 3, like if she starts telling me, "Hey, I died right over here. By the way, come over here because this is where I died." And I do research and find that out. I'm be like, "What the?"
So
But it's so interesting to me. I don't get it.
So here's one of the things on that topic. My cousin that I was speaking with today, the one that's moving to my grandparents' house, her oldest son had passed or was born right around the time my grandfather passed. I want to say he was born right after my grandfather passed, right? So he points to a picture of one of the ships my grandfather's on during World War II. Goes, "Oh, I was on that boat." Hold on, kid, you ain't never seen that boat in your life. There's no way you could have ever seen that boat. I kind of think my grandfather may have been reincarnated in this kid, right? Because he points at the picture and goes, "Oh, that's Pop Pop." No way to ever know that was Pop Pop, right? Then another thing is that I've had recollections of me in past lives where I've looked around and I'm like, this isn't the area that I'm seeing. Like my current self sees the area going on, and I'm like, this isn't right. And then all of a sudden, I transition to what's going on now.
Do you see that? What Jack said?
Yeah.
Right? That's crazy. Jack's now White Wolf, whose name is written in runes down there, but White Wolf is Jack's boyfriend.
Yep.
And he said if Jack's had conversations with Eli while he was passed, and White Wolf recorded it.
What?
That's crazy.
That is wild.
That's wild. And Joe saying, which I do believe, Joe, with you being down in North Carolina, you're definitely going to be a CSA soldier.
So,
Joe,
like the thought, I dig into the little thoughts. They take me off on little shiny thoughts here and there. Is it really reincarnation? All right, because if it's reincarnation, how come? And there's no answer to this, so forgive me. But what's keeping me from remembering my previous life, or you, Jared, or you, Ed? All right, you know what I'm saying? Like, and how many lives have someone had? So is it really that, or did our spirit get created at the moment we were conceived, or was our spirit waiting somewhere and perceiving what's going on? All right. And you're just aware, like, oh, look at this guy who was in Gettysburg in 1863. You just happen to be a spirit aware of what's going on. Not yet put in a physical form by the Lord God Almighty and saying, dang, this guy, I don't know, I'm just interested in him. And all of a sudden you kind of
send it to the Twitter. Go ahead, Brent.
And I'm just saying, could it be something like that? I have no idea.
So here's the thing. So you guys are familiar with our area, right?
Yeah.
Ritchie Highway, go from Herringdale Mall to Marley Station Mall. There's that little road that runs parallel with Ritchie Highway.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I grew up right off that road. It's called Little Road, okay? I'm walking to the bus stop one morning. I'm 11 years old. All of a sudden, everything around me changes from that time, from 1991 or whatever year it was, to an older time. And I'm like, hey, what's going on here? I had no idea at the time that was a World War II camp at the time. No idea whatsoever.
That was. Right? All those houses back there in Herringdale, all those houses back there were World War II.
Yes. So fast forward to 2008 or so, and I see a haunting on TV on Discovery Channel, and it talks about that area was a camp. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. No big deal. I'm out meeting a guy who grew up in my house. He has some experiences there and everything. I'm like, okay, that makes a little bit of sense. Why I experienced what was going on, not knowing about my sensitivity and things like that. So the lady who I was talking about at the beginning of this broadcast, well, I trust her 100%. She posted something along the lines of past life experiences. And I said something like, oh, I feel like I was a soldier. Her comment was, you were.
Are you the soldier that's following Jared?
Jared should only be so lucky if I was that soldier. So anyway, I go visit her one day, or I comment something on her
once
Facebook
a month,
page.
every time I turn around, there you are.
I comment on her Facebook page. I was like, hey, she said something about past lives. I'm like, this is something I'm interested in. I like to talk to you about right? Her reply to me was, yes, Mr. Soldier. So I believe in my past life, my past lives have all been in the military at some point. Like, was I a soldier in Gettysburg? Was I a soldier in, World War I, II, currently? I mean, those of you who don't know, I'm an Army veteran. I served in Iraq. So has that been my legacy? Is that where my past lives have all led
Did
me?
you go that path because it's the path you were just, always on, and I hear what you're saying.
That's the funny thing, Brent. You know what my entire family did before I came along? Navy veterans. My grandfather, he was on a ship at Iwo Jima. He saw the flag raised both times at Iwo Jima, right?
Well, maybe that's why we got so much interaction at Commodore Isaac Mayo's house.
Yeah,
exactly. Another uncle Navy. My dad was Navy. My brother went into the Coast Guard. I'm like, this guy's different. I'm going in the Army.
Well, maybe that's why we got so much interaction at Commodore Isaac Mayo's house.
That's the thing is,
seen that on.
Are we already predetermined on a path in our lives that we don't even know about because of what's happened in the past?
One hell of a ride for me. I don't know what my predetermined ride is, but it's not been really that good. I've had to deal with some shit.
So have you guys heard of this theory before of you keep repeating your life until you get it right? I've heard of a theory of that before. Like, you are going to continue on that path.
What is right? What perfect? What is right?
What is right for you? What you're intended to do?
Is it that 800 credit score?
Because intention requires it as like, all right, right now you have free will. So you've done everything you intended to do up until this moment. You made a choice. It was intended, and yes, my choice may affect your choice if I do something that affects your life. So is that what you mean? Like,
that's a great question, because Jared asked me before Pasadena Paranormal became Pasadena Paranormal again. Jared's question to me was, hey, you want to freelance with me for a little bit? Not, hey, you want to freelance with me and Brent, And then all of a sudden, you're reviewing audio and video and everything, and here we are. We're doing live streams now.
And hold on a second. And Brent, me and you have had this conversation plenty times before. This, I think, for the longest time, and we got away from it for a long time. A couple years, 6 years, we got away from it. But I think this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and like Kendra just said, I don't think it's predetermined, but you may be called or more prone to live a certain way because of a past life. I don't believe personally in past lives. I believe that it's appointed for every man wants to live, man and woman. Everybody wants to live, and then to be and then the judgment. And that judgment is coming at the end of time. Time is a relative term there. There's an appointed time. But that's my belief. But I do believe, and you can look at just people in general. Look at all of us in this, everybody in this chat and right now, us three, or your family members. Everybody has different thoughts and feelings, desires, motivations, callings, if you will. I do think there's something there that's in us. I don't think it's like a predetermined, like Kindred said. I don't think it's like there was a script written for your life. This isn't like, what's the Greek mythology with the guys who have the string and they create a life and then, they kind of predetermine how it's going to go. And then what are they?
Wolf, that would be the Norns. The Norns were this life in
in Greek they have a theory about it like that too. I can't remember what they're called, but anyways, I don't think it's predetermined. I think we have free choice. The free choice is a real thing because we can choose to go one way or the other.
Yeah,
and it's where's your heart? What's most important to you?
I do think that we're doing now is what we're supposed to be.
It's a calling. Yeah.
I think somebody above is saying, I need you guys to do this for me.
We were all guided on a path at some point. So for those of Brent, you may not remember this. Jerry, I don't know if you do or not. And the people in the chat don't know this. Back in the day, there was a friend of mine, who made a post of, I dare Pasadena Paranormal to prove to me that ghosts are real or spirits are real or whatever the case was. And I'm like, oh, Pasadena Paranormal, that's got to be close to me. Let me click on that link, right? And I clicked on it, and I sent Jared a message of one of the rooms at Benson Hammond. I'm like, dude, look, I know, and I never would have done this in a million years, but for some reason, I felt it's okay to do it. Hey, in this room, you're going to get a lot of activity, right? Monday morning, I'm coming home, and my phone goes crazy. Like, dude, you won't believe what happened in that room. We're going to do a public tour. Do you want to come along? And I'm like, well, yeah, of course I do. And then Brent, it was your brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you and your brother, like, hey, Ed, we're going to leave you in this room by yourself for a little bit. I'm like, these mother,
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like I did pretty well in that room for the first time by myself at all.
You did.
You did great. It was
That's
awesome.
where I am right now. I'm with two great guys on the paranormal team.
I still have that video.
One. And
I still have that video.
Yeah,
it's up on the channel.
That's where we are right now. I think this team is a great team. And this is nothing against my other team that I've been with. This is nothing against the old Pasadena Paranormal. I think the three of us make up a great team. I think what we do together is great. We all bring something unique to the team.
Yeah.
I mean, Brent's Derek, you call him the mad scientist. I don't think there's a better name for him. I had that extra sense where I'm like, hey, we need to do this tonight, guys. Not, I know what you're saying, but I think we need to do this instead. Just trust me on this. And what happened? We got that cat ball going crazy, And Jared's like, hey, guys, my gut tells me we need to go here. I just think everybody has a way of tuning into things, and our lives intersect to one another. I mean, regardless of who we are or where we're at, you intersect with somebody, and then you go in a different way for whatever reason that the universe determines.
Yeah. So speaking of universe, okay,
highly proud of the way that Jackie has progressed.
Me too.
For her and as to go into that kitchen in the Oddfellows Hall by themselves in a gentleman's club.
I'm gonna go beyond that.
For
Jackie,
them to do.
I'm gonna go beyond that, and I think this is an important part. And then I want to jump to a comment here. Is for anyone to go from I don't hear nothing, like I legit don't hear anything. I don't know if it's an intentional shutdown or I just really don't hear anything, to wanting to try and actually give it a chance. All right, that's the first step. All right, let me see if this actually makes sense. Let me understand what I'm trying to do and see, and then actually hear something and say, whoa, whoa, whoa. I know me, and I actually do hear something there. And to keep going with that and allow it to progress and learn from it is what investigators do. It starts off with first that desire, that question, let me do this on my own. I can watch a million videos of other people doing it and believe, but let me try this on my own. That way, and that's where they invest. That's where the proof of something to yourself happens.
Well,
And
she
it's
told
like-
Jackie
and
about
she's-
that.
We're not trying to prove it anymore. We're trying to document. But Jackie is, I think we've
She's
watched
had that progression.
Yeah.
Now
she
that
told-
being said, I want to jump to a quick comment that I think Joe made. Where is it? He said, "I feel like we live in a big computer simulation at times."
Me too.
All right. So
I'm
I
not
want
gonna-
to make a comment here.
I'm not going to argue that
Hold
one
on,
bit at
hold
all.
on. That sounds very, conspiracy theory, and I love it. I can jump into that, but I just want to say this. What is a simulation? Is a simulation would be I guess I should ask it this way. Do you think this is something created and we're all living in it? And then it wasn't previously, and then it was created for a certain purpose that put us in there. Because if anybody has that, I'm curious if that person would have anything against the word of God, that he created this and put us in it. Because that would be, you could call it a simulation if you want.
It's pretty much
Because
a simulation.
If you create a simulation on a computer, I could sit right now and program
I mean, it's almost
simulated
like
world, and it would have physics. I have to tell that system, here's your physics. This is what a person looks like. This is how they move. Like all the things that are of this universe, I have to program that. Well, guess what? God spoke, and it was. Call it a simulation. It's a created universe.
With our team, I'm a tech history guy. We also have a pagan witch and a psychic medium. We are all different strengths and beliefs, and combination works well together. It's all about finding the combination that works well, and I love this team.
Yeah, agree.
Can I comment on that for a
team, not
second?
just this team. I'm going to say this.
Hold on.
Here, go ahead.
So Jackie made a comment before of, that's why Ed and I get along so well, right? And I think it's because Jackie knows where she's at. Like, hey, I'm newly developing into this, and Jackie knows where I'm at, where I know I have a gift, but I don't know how to develop into my gift.
You guys work well together.
Yes, and I think Jackie with Jackie being new to the field, she's like, I don't know how to take this. But I am very proud of Jackie. Just throwing this out there. Where Jackie goes, I want to use the Echovox because I hear better with the Echovox.
Right.
I hate the Echovox. Guys, look, I will kid you not. Listening on review, I love the Echovox. I love the Spirit Box. I love them all. But in real time, I love Ed. I love what I feel. I love what I get. I'm like, hey, this is what I have, right? Jarrett, hands down, brother, you are the best Echovox guy I've ever heard. Nothing on Brent or anything. Jarrett's like, I heard that, and he's waving the arm and going crazy and everything.
We're like, what?
But
what?
Jackie's picked that up too, And Jackie's like, hey, did I just say that? And she's real shy. Hey, did I just hear this? And she's all calm and quiet and everything. Well, Brent and I are hearing something, and we're all like high fiving one another and everything. And yes, that's great. We just heard that.
Yes.
All right, Jackie, I get it. I'm buzzed. I'm not drunk yet. Okay.
So I want to jump this back to, you made a comment about, I love how this team works. Kindred, you made a great point about, the different beliefs and whatever you want to call it. I mean, to me, the paranormal field, a true working together paranormal field, all right, is different than society, especially when it comes to religion. And, I'm just going to sit on that one, obviously with politics, but, politics and religion, you put people together in society, they kill each other. How crazy is it that in this family of true paranormal enthusiasts, we can all have different beliefs, different understandings, different, thoughts on what's actually occurring and work harmoniously together for the same purpose.
Well,
That's mind-blowing.
some
right
of us
there.
can't, but that's because we're all working for the
Yeah.
same goal.
Agreed.
I've
Okay.
seen that, and I'm just going to say that's because we're all working. Most of us are working for the same goal. Most of us have one thing. This channel doesn't mean anything. This is just a way to present our findings and our theories and everything.
And in this show right here is just a way to communicate with
With-
those who are like-minded.
Exactly. So
And here's the thing.
YouTube,
Yes, Kendrick, and we have respect. I mean, dude, that is such a. I mean, it's mind-blowing. It's
Facebook,
heart-swelling.
Twitter.
It's so awesome that we can actually have
Right.
that
Here's a
type of
great example.
relationship with each other.
Rising Sun N. We showed up, and Brent or Jared's like, "Hey Ed, I'm gonna set the camera up facing the boiler room because this is where these people told us we get everything at." And I'm like, "No, Jared, this way." And he's like, "Well, we get back here." I said, "No, Jared, this way." Jared didn't question me a third time. He went with it. And how great was that interaction we got? The cat ball, the light, the EVPs, everything lined up was where I said to put the cameras at. And Jared could have said, "Screw you, Ed. This is my team. This is what we're doing." And he didn't. Jared listened to me. He trusted my gut instinct that night.
we work together. We're a fine oiled machine, the way that the entire field should be.
And I think
we should all,
I think there is respect in this field, and let's just leave it at that. I can see just from this chat, we can if you really cut through everything and just 1,000-mile view look at it, there needs to be more, right? Obviously, I think there should be more, but man, it's growing, and there is a respect. I mean, and very few other situations in this society, and any society out there in the world, can different thoughts, beliefs, faiths, whatever, come together for the same purpose on a team and work together. You know what I'm saying?
not just a team, the entire field.
And I'm not just talking about us. I'm talking about every group out there.
Every group out
It's
there.
just so cool.
With our work, again, this YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, streaming services, none of that shit matters. It's only a way for us to get our findings out and to communicate with others, right? But with our work in this field, this is what we should be trying to do with the work that we do.
Well, that's one of the things. We brought Desiree, who, I mean, for the people in the chat who don't know, I'm part of two different teams. Maryland Society for Psychic Research, Pasadena Paranormal, because you guys had, disbanded your group before I got to be a part of it. So I joined the Maryland Society
Well,
for
now
Psychic.
you're part of it.
Yeah. I don't have a feeling I'm getting away from this group at all. But I joined Maryland Society for Psychic Research. And then, we started up, Jared and I, episode 1, going through Bensingham, and Brent's like, "Hey, I want to be a part of this. Let me review the audio." And then all of a sudden, Pasadena Paranormal is reborn.
Yeah.
And
here we are.
Maryland Society we haven't been as active as we should be because of schedules and things and everything going on. And we brought Desiree on the last investigation. And to me personally, I think we got a lot of good things from Desiree because it allowed me to tap in and be like, "Hey, Desiree, I'm feeling this," where the two of you guys aren't able to tap into that side. But Desiree's like, "Hey, I'm on board with you, Ed. Like, I'm seeing the same thing you are,
And I think Des and Jackie worked well together, and I think Jackie actually had a good time working with Des. And when we go back the 17th, I'm gonna ask Des if she wants to go.
We're not asking her. I'm forcing her.
And I want them to work together again.
Careful, bro.
And in a good way, not the Joe Biden kind of way.
You went there.
We gotta get shut off.
Take a sip, man.
Sorry, YouTube. I apologize. It's all on me.
That's awesome, Kendrick.
But no, I mean, and here's the thing is, like, I feel like I've grown with you guys. It's helped me out quite a bit.
No,
working with
Yeah,
Jackie, I feel like
I
I've
think
grown
it's
with
true.
Jackie. I feel like Jackie has grown with us.
And we've
I mean,
grown
'cause
with you. This
I
community's
remember,
grown. Yeah, this team's grown with this community. This community's grown with this team. It's all a big cycle with that.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you ask me, right, Brent, you weren't there, but Jared, if you remember the day, like, hey, I want you guys to get her meet in Gettysburg and everything, I'm like,
Mhm.
who's this lady over this Jared's girlfriend? She don't care about this stuff. And now, Jackie's like, hey, what are we doing next, guy? What's going on? I
Yeah.
want to know what's going on,
I
And
think we should break this out.
yeah, and Jackie's, I remember her saying, this is why Ed and I get along so well, because Jackie and I can go into a room together and be like, okay, here's what I'm getting. And Jackie will feed off me and I can feed off her.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like, I feel like we've built a great bond on this team. I feel like
these guys work very well together.
And I feel like adding Desiree into that, since she's not being able to be active with her normal team, being Maryland Society, the other team that I'm part of, has helped her grow as well and helped us grow.
And that, Des comes on September 17th. That'll leave me open for a few more solos.
She is going to be there. I don't care what she says. I hope she watches this right now because I'm 2 cups deep into this stuff right now.
You and Brett
And,
can work together, Jackie and Ed, and Jackie and Des could work together, and I could do solos.
Yeah, I'm 3 into this, and I think it's going to look. I love doing solos with you guys. Just me and Brent or me and Jared.
I hope so, Jax.
I love doing me and Jackie. I love the way that this team is going. I love the stuff that we're doing. We're being active. We're getting out there. We're doing things.
Yeah, we're introducing new stuff. Like new tech.
I'm actually happy.
The mad science has right here. I mean,
I got one to show off too, by the way.
I'm happy. Hold on, you can show it off. Hold on a second, but I'm happy that this week I was able to help 2 people get the things that they need to build their own Pasadena Paranormal Ghost Box.
That's awesome.
Cassie from Weeping Willow and Deb. I helped Deb, and Brent helped Deb, and that's what it's all about. We could charge $300.
Did they get them built?
They're working on them, but we could charge $300 a piece for these boxes if we wanted to, or we could just tell you how to make them.
Hey,
way to go.
You know what? I have a great idea here, guys. I am stupid when it comes to the stuff that you guys are able to do. Jared, you and I need to get together and build a spirit box. You and I, because Brent's so far away. Brent, move closer, dude. But
he just left.
If Jared and I can get together and I can build one, we can show how easy it is for everybody else to do this.
Dude, you don't even need to get a box and the simple items. Yeah, it's simple.
You have an S7, right?
That's the thing. And I'm like most of the people that's over here in the chat where, I'm intimidated. I can't do this. If I can do it,
you have
like for anybody who's listening who has never looked into this, if you can hook a speaker up to an SB7 or an S box, you can build this.
Joe, I love you, brother.
Me too.
Because you know how many times I've looked at. I'm not going to mention the other names or anything like that, but other pages, and they're like, $350, or we'll make this for you.
Mm-hmm. We don't need that much.
What do you guys say? $90, $125? We can show you how to do this.
We're not charging anything.
No, zero.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Other than parts, you guys,
y'all buy the parts, and I'll tell you how to make it.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
We'll go as far as to say this is the parts we used.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to make it just like us? Here you go.
Yep. Brent,
that's what I'm saying. Is if I can do it, everybody over here to my right now.
Tomorrow, when we meet up in Gettysburg, I'll give you all the links that you need for the parts, and you can make your spirit box in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, there you go. EMF tripwire?
Yep. I'll be right back, boys. I'll be right back. Go ahead. Talk to Deb about that, Brent.
Is that something you're making, Deb, or is that something you're asking us to do? An EMF tripwire. Understanding what EMF is.
But what
I have an understanding of that. So
what's the tripwire part of this?
do what?
The tripwire. What is it? What are we,
Well,
referring
you and
to?
I both know what a tripwire is.
Well, yeah, but you wind up dead after my tripwires.
Well, that's true. But I think a tripwire is just you cross this line and it goes off. I mean, when we're thinking about tripwire, essentially, I'm picturing sensor transmit and receive that would detect anything that would create an electromagnetic field passing through it. And again, that's going on. The electromagnetic field is an interesting thing. You know, obviously there's a lot of stuff that can create an electromagnetic field that we naturally have right now, or we've man-made right now. The Earth and, you know, the sun creates an electromagnetic field. So
I mean,
it's an interesting theory. I'm curious if that's something Deb's making. Well, it looks like a long rope with a little light thingies along it. Okay, so this is something that's out there. I have seen the one where it's like a row of lights. I'm wondering if that's what Deb's talking about. And if an that's sensitive to an electromagnetic field that would trigger each light, and you could trace it going down. I mean, yeah, that's. I want to say it's easy enough to make. If you're asking us to make one, then okay, I'll send you the link for one, Brent. Thank you. Let me look at what they're doing. I'll tell you right now. If you can send me something, just like the was it Geoport, you know, or whatever that was. If I can find specs on it, we can reverse engineer it quick. You know,
well,
cost $300. Yeah, like everything else that's thrown out to the paranormal field, because people will buy this. You know, buy something. Here you go. I'm just going to show this. So you have the paranormal music box, right, Jared? Paranormal music box, $300.
$300.
It is a transducer sensor. All right.
You
So
can
it's
get.
sending out
You see that
ultrasonic
behind Brent?
Listen, ultrasonic frequency, sending it out, transmitting and receiving it back to see how long it takes to get its sound back. They've hooked it up to a
that
music
sounds
box.
familiar to me. I
Yeah,
feel like I've seen that somewhere.
we got one right here. There it is. All right.
There's one behind Brent.
Hey, look, I built this. Guess what? I used a garage parking sensor that uses transducers. All right. 2 transducers here.
Oh, what's
Hey,
that
guess
thing
what?
behind you?
Here's
Oh,
one right
yeah,
here.
Look at this.
This
Hold
one
on,
cost me $20. $20 off of eBay. This is a peak performance garage sensor. I don't know if it'll actually show up there. All right.
Can I say I love the Bible one.
I
we
do
have.
love the
All right.
Bible.
This looks cool. All right. And I had to take the guts out of a unit similar to this one and put it in this box. That takes a little bit of technical skill, a lot of unsoldering and soldering and thinking about it.
Well, don't be the mad scientist.
Okay. And this, you know, but the original unit I used for this cost me $15. $15 to buy the sensor for the tack. This cost me $20
Yeah.
on a piece of wood. There's the transducer, the same thing that the paranormal music box is using. All right, you plug it in. All right, detecting nothing. Boom.
Ooh,
That's
ooh,
it. Let's go out here. There's yellow.
ooh.
This actually gives a distance. The paranormal music box just plays music. You don't know where it's coming from. This one, that
Yeah,
green light, means it's anywhere from 10 feet away, from 4 foot to 10 foot away.
All you have to do
Yellow,
is a little bit of
there
a
you go. I know it's within 4 foot. Red, I know it's within 2 feet.
All you need to do is put a
20
little
bucks.
sound box.
20
little sound
bucks.
box, and it'll start playing music.
Yeah, you could take this. I didn't do it, but you can go into this unit, solder to the points that are hitting that LED, and hook it up to a speaker, and you'll get some voltage on the speaker to make noise. Come
Yep.
on.
So
20
it
bucks right here. $20. versus
20
$300.
bucks,
The same exact technology being used. That's it. So
These
$300.
people are ripping you off, folks.
I wouldn't pay.
People are
I
ripping you off.
learn how the system. If we learn what the technology is they're promoting for paranormal, understand it, understand what could make it get, what possibly could make that happen, and do it. Crafty, you need it now? Go on eBay. Look
20
at
bucks.
peak performance garage parking sensor. All
It's
right.
the same
There's
technology
a
as
bunch of
music.
them on there right now, and I got mine for 20. Again, it's eBay. They're, you can find a brand new one. Just make sure it's within this country. And this one happened to be, 4-day shipment. 4 days it got to me, and boom, done. I put it on some scrap wood for the sensor. All right, 3 screws and some scrap wood. Didn't cost me anything. Bam, there's your sensor.
The team's all about making paranormal great again, making paranormal real again, and helping the field out with the work that we do.
Oh, let me see if I can get that in focus. Can you see the peak performance?
That thing right there is the same thing as the $300 music box.
Yeah, and I mean, if you wanted to, you could take all the guts out of this cute little box and put it in a box like this, along with this sensor. That you'd have to. I mean, you got to get ingenuity, a little creative. And how do I want this to look? Drill some holes. But again, does it need to look flashy?
Deb's going to get it. Deb's getting it.
Functional.
Well, here's the thing. So, as somebody who's not technically advanced as
savvy,
you guys are, is I was willing to pay the $500-600 that somebody wanted in order to add that. But the fact that you guys have been like, "Hey, look, I found this for $30," I'm like, I can make $30 work for me.
And again, anybody out there could buy this unit right here, not change a single thing. Yes, it's not going to play music. All right. It's a light, not sound. But you have the same tech. The light goes off, something just triggered it. Right? Am I right?
Exactly.
It just went off because something triggered it. Now, I'm going to say just because it goes off doesn't mean it's a spirit. You need to understand how the sensor works and help. That's going to help the community as well. If you want to have talks about that, I can go into it. It's very simple, but we can have that later. I know we're an hour and almost 2 hours in. But
you got this thing, Crafty.
If you want to try the spirit box, the paranormal music box, then just get this for $20-$30 and try it out.
Hook
Well,
it up to a
here's the
little.
thing.
Get one of those little chime boxes. They sell them, little chime boxes, and put them to a little piezo, and there you go.
Kendrick
Series.
hit this on the head.
Spiritual psychic, I think we have it combined. Yeah, pull up Kindred's comment real quick.
I think there are 2 sides.
Yeah.
And this is interesting because this is called a pseudoscience or something like that. It's not really science based, because science is a series of experiments that are controlled to show an outcome. And you should be able to prove that outcome every time, no matter who does it. And that's where, if we want to get from a pseudoscience to a science, then you need to understand your technology. Everybody needs to understand that across the board, apply it, and determine, is this able to actually detect something paranormal, or is it just detecting something that is, understood about the normal universe, and therefore you debunk it. That's what it is. I'd rather spend $20 and find out this doesn't do anything paranormal than $300 and believe it does, but it really doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or debunk it and find out, crap, I just wasted $300.
These folks that are out here selling, and believe me, I'm a Republican. I bleed red. I'm not a Democrat.
You don't say. I find it hard to believe.
I love capitalism.
Trust me. Hold on. The Democrats believe in capitalism too. They want to make money. Everybody, capitalism, you can make money.
they also love socialism, though.
Well, I
So-
agree with that. Yeah.
Um,
All right, we're done with that conversation.
but these folks out here charging $300, $400 for these devices that you can make your own. They're not doing any good for the field. They are not making paranormal great again. They are they're in it for a profit. So, what we're trying to do is let folks know that you don't have to spend that money to have that technology.
Right. And I'm gonna say this real quick to, I think it was Joe said this. It's pseudoscience because you can't replicate it when you need it to be replicated. It's because of one thing. Again, science is about a controlled experiment. There's one factor you can't control. Will a spirit
Communicate with me.
communicate or interact with the device that you have? But I will say this. If you find one that is open, so if Joe goes out and he says, hey, look at how this spirit interacted with me, and he goes there 10 times and says, every time they do this, okay, that's great. And now 10 of us in this community hear that and go to the same location and do the same exact thing and get the same exact response or, technical, through the same devices, whatever it is, same reaction, that at least puts us in a better place. You know what I'm saying? Closer to it. You're right. It'll always probably be pseudoscience because there's a control factor we can't control. So
here's the thing too. Me being a part of this team,
crafty.
one third of the team, I get something different than the two you guys do. Right?
We don't need to get in that conversation. Don't get Jared and I started. Go ahead.
Jared hears the echo box. And Jared's like, wait,
both subject and nobody
guys, I heard this, right? And Brent's like, I didn't hear nothing. But Brent goes back in the in the audio review. It's like,
with you.
Wait a second, I heard that now, right? All three of us are bringing something different into this conversation, in which we got different things going on.
Brought us back to the beginning of the show with making out the schedule and talk about the things that are coming up. This team, it works all the time.
Yeah, because
we all got jobs. We all got jobs. We're all working all the time after the work for the team, and
I think we all bring something unique to the team where one of us might get something and the other one doesn't. And two of the three of us might be like, no, I got that. I mean, the two of you guys, I know it's happened before where I'm like, hey, I didn't hear that, but if you guys got it, I'm okay with saying, hey, let's roll with it. And vice versa. Me and Brent might got something that Derek didn't get, or me and Derek got Brent didn't get it, And I'm okay with saying, hey, if you guys got it, I didn't get it, but I'm okay with putting my name behind it because you guys got it, because I trust you guys.
Joe, don't get me started on that asshole.
Did you know what I've been hearing a lot of? It's
always been my dream.
So hold on. I don't know about anybody else because I don't know how YouTube works. I've turned off all the track my likes and track what I watch just because, no matter what, I guess it throws up all sorts of stuff. But another one besides Bigfoot is the Megalodon. All of a sudden, it's just been.
No. I'm a support right there.
Don't get me started on that Bigfoot. It's a dream, folks.
I don't do Bigfoot. I don't do dinosaurs. I don't do prehistoric creatures.
And White Wolf will.
Did you say you don't do dinosaurs?
Nope.
My man.
I'm sorry. Wait.
No.
Hold on. Let me rephrase that. I don't do dinosaurs walking amongst the living. Okay.
Oh, okay. Because there's conspiracies about dinosaurs never existing. It's interesting you say that.
You guys are from Baltimore. Remember Chessie the sea monster? And the scene in the bay?
Chessie? Oh.
No. As far as what we get, what we can put evidence behind, 1,000% hands down, I'm with you two guys on. if you and Jared come to me, Brent, and you're like, "Hey, Ed, look, we got this. We think we got something real," I'm gonna back you guys up. But if you guys want to do some bullshit, like, "Hey, we got Tyrannosaurus Rex over in Asia City," nah, bro, I'm done.
When it comes to Bigfoot, it's been a dream of mine since I was 12 years old to find Bigfoot in the woods and fight him to the death. And
What?
it is all it's something that I just want to do. I want to fight Bigfoot to the death. If I have
Bigfoot will kick your ass.
If I have my 2 axes, I will beat his ass.
Really? You know how long Bigfoot been around?
I don't care.
Brent,
If I have my 2 hand axes, he's going down.
Look,
and guess what? We're rich, boys.
the bottle was up here when I started. It's because of stuff like that the bottle only gets it down here.
And yeah, I'll be sitting at a deer stand, right? I'll be sitting.
No, you won't be, because I'll be there like Jared. What are you trying to accomplish here? What's really going to come out of it?
I'll be sitting at a deer stand with my. Well, you have my crossbow now because I gave it to you, but I'll be sitting there with my crossbow like. I wish that son of a bitch would walk.
That's not a fight to the death, man. Come on.
Me and Jared.
Where's the honor?
Me and Brent will be on the ground like, Jared, there's a big ass motherfucker over there. Okay. You ain't fighting him.
Brent's gonna be like this. This sucks. But Jared, don't do this. It's for the channel.
I'm just saying it has always been a dream since 12 years old to fight Bigfoot.
Other 12-year-olds are like, I want to be a veterinarian. I want to be an astronaut. I want to fight Bigfoot to the death. What? Teacher's like, what did you just say?
It's true.
Tell your mama.
I can't lie about it. It's true. I've always wanted to fight him. For some
I ain't
reason.
got no vodka for that, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put it this way. With the cryptid stuff. I don't care if it's aliens, Bigfoot, all the mysteries you can put out there, the physics. I'm drawn to all the curiosities that are out there. Now, the scary thing that, the reason people look at paranormal investigation and believers is because there's an open curiosity. So people, the mainstream will look at us and be like, they can believe in anything. They just don't understand how things work.
Joe, I'm 5'10".
Well, we question. The thing is, we question what reality is and what's actually out there. All right, that's what's really going on here. The world was flat, and then they proved it wasn't. All right, but everybody believed it was flat, and the Earth was the center of the entire solar system. Everybody believed that until it was proven it wasn't. Someone was crazy enough to think there's something else going on,
and what makes
we apply a different thought process to show it.
And what makes me mad is we got folks out here like us that are out here working our ass off and doing real work and putting,
Joe.
I'm 5'10", Joe, but
5'10", Joe.
No, you ain't. I'm 6 foot and I'm a lot taller than you are.
5'10". I'm 5'10". Colton 6'3".
Yeah, no kid, right, bro? You tell him. Don't even start.
Evan, I know. I told Joe tonight. Evan's 6'7", Joe.
Dude, my middle son 6'7". Cody's like 6'3". I'm like, what the?
But how the hell are you the two of you having these big ass kids? Look,
the grandfather had a 7.
Bigger than they are.
Wolf, I'm 5'11" too, bro.
Uncle or some shit. The grandfather had a 7'2" uncle. He was like a giant, and every now and then it pops up in the kids. But yeah, you got teams out there doing real work, doing real stuff, busting their ass out here. Joe putting in real work, spectral researchers putting in real work, and then you have people out there that just shit on the field and are just doing it for views.
Can I give a shout out to somebody real quick? Antietam Paranormal Society.
Do whatever you want. Ed, you're part of this team. Do whatever you want.
Look, Antietam Paranormal Society. If y'all don't know them, follow them, give them a good like. They put a lot of good stuff out there. I mean, Rebecca.
Are they on YouTube?
I don't know if they have YouTube.
If they are, find it and send it to me. I haven't seen anything from
They have a Facebook. They put out a lot of good stuff about orbs and things like that and all. Rebecca is a great person.
old.
She's been out in the field for like 10 plus years, you know. Give
She's
them a like and follow. They're great people and everything like that. I love them. I know them personally and everything. I mean, and things like that, like us, Parentino, we keep the field growing and going and things like that. And we're not out there. What's the word I'm looking for here without being mean? you know what I mean? Like bullshit out there, like some of these baggins people is the word I want to look for.
like 11-hour live streams at the
Okay, stop. We ain't doing drama. Cut it out. I don't care.
Somebody fell asleep on the couch.
Voice of reason.
Did somebody fall asleep on the couch during that
Voice of
event?
reason. Don't listen to him. That's drama. We don't promote
The
that.
thing is
Make paranormal great again. Don't be drama.
Wait, come on.
yes,
Oh,
the
look at
paranormal field is there's a lot of stuff out there for us to review, the research, to do our own homework on. I mean, Brent, how many videos have you put out there on like, hey, here's how to do your own spirit box? You know,
Yep.
and the last 5s, you've told people, hey, get with me. I can tell you how to do this.
Yep.
There's things out there to help us out. I mean, I'm an investigator on a budget myself personally, you know.
Everybody is. We got jobs and we got mortgages.
Exactly. I mean, and the thing is there's so much help out there in the field.
Cigarettes all live stream.
This looks like a K2, but it's not. It's half the price.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of
It's the same
people
exact job.
ignore the things that are out there for them in order to investigate. I mean, Garrett had a K2 and I had a ghost meter. And a ghost meter is a bare bones, basic,
Dude,
you know, thing
Jared
that
and
you
I
do.
had a digital voice recorder. We made our own EM pumps, and maybe we had a fake K2 or a K2. I don't even know if we actually had a K2 when we first started.
Back
Right?
then,
We didn't even have cameras because it wasn't about creating video content. We were like, legit, let's get out and we're going to crack the secrets and find out what is going on out here because we knew what we experienced through our lives.
Yep.
And, well, that's one of the things. So I have family members who are devout Christians. And what I do is, oh, you're evil. You shouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Well, I know.
But
McNeil, you want to come?
I know my truth. I know what I've experienced. I know what I feel. You guys are more supportive than some of the people in my family. You know?
I get
Ed,
it.
And that's one of the things is,
Edward.
yes, I know, Jared. I know what you're gonna say.
That's because we are family.
I know. And I love you guys for that. I mean, wholeheartedly love you guys. I may not say it at the end of every live stream, but I do love you guys for that.
Yes,
you know.
Joe.
But it's just one of the things is people may not get the support that they need from family and friends and everything like that out there. But you have support from the paranormal community. We know what you're going through. We know everything that's going on with you guys and all of that.
Yeah,
we know how to absorb that stuff and how to feel it and how to process it for you.
And there's no way in hell that we're paying the type of money that these people are charging for devices.
Look, here's one. I think it's interesting.
We'll just make them our own.
Yeah. I mean, understanding it and coming out and then saying, okay, hey, we can create this because we understand it. But like the cat balls, and I won't lie, the alcohol tried to get me to make a comment about flashy balls. I won't. But
Ever since.
But I will say this. The cat balls is a relatively new inception into paranormal investigation. One that I was like, really? Until we went to Rising Sun and I seen it for myself and I was like, what? Just like flashlights.
Jarrett,
What's up?
Brent, you and I, we experienced cat balls for the first time together. I don't know if the video caught enough of how happy you and I were to see that together for the
Brent
first
was
time.
extremely happy.
No, beyond, I was like flabbergasted and happy and excited and like I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, Ed, prove. I was frozen. I'm a skeptic that thinks, and I should have been able to get over and prove it wrong. I couldn't. I literally couldn't. I said, Ed, prove this wrong. Figure this out because I can't do anything right now.
That's another thing right there. Hold on a second. Joe just said the Bell Witch Cave wanted $2,000 for a 6-hour investigation.
No.
Another thing that you'll never see this team do is those locations that overcharge the folks.
Dude, guys,
You
everybody.
are all in states. This country has history all over the place. All over the place. Every county has historical locations, historical societies that you can investigate.
Yeah.
You just have to represent yourself as a respectable team.
And even more
And
so,
offer something to them. Hey,
Yeah.
What we do, I pay $150 a donation for the investigations that we do.
yeah.
That's all we do. If
At
they
a
don't,
location probably
then
most of you
way.
haven't ever heard of. But
Yep.
guess what? There's a, it just happens. Jared's good at picking them out. He's really good. He's got so many to choose from. He's like, nope, this is the one. His gut leads us there. I won't lie. There's something about that. Jared's
I want to say this. I want to say this for Brent. Brent, you drive. How long is it just for you to get to Jared's house? 8 hours?
8 hours, yeah.
Okay. Brent is hands down the MVP of this team. He drives 8 hours before an investigation. Then he drives to the investigation. Right? Brent, find something in South Carolina, bro. I'm
trying.
We'll be
But hold
coming
on.
down.
I want to drive to your house,
Look.
Brent.
I'll send you the reach out email, brother.
I know. But look, let me make my quick point. Let me make my quick point. Because those locations that are charging all that money, it's probably because they've got the hype behind them and so forth. You don't got to do that. That's Jared's point, is you don't ignore that. If everybody's done it, that's great.
Find your
Go
own
somewhere else.
locations. Find your own locations. You don't have to do those
You
locations.
don't have to spend that. There was a comment here I wanted to.
Huh?
Can I comment on something Crafty said? Because I thought it was awesome. Where was it? I think she said something about trying to Furby. And I thought that was so cool because if I remember the Furbies, their motion, they have some, I don't know what the sensor is. There it is. I've been experimenting with a Furby and so far it's been successful. This is interesting.
Very interesting.
Because if I remember correctly, they were motion activated. I don't know what type of sensor they were using, but that is the exact mind frame that everybody should pick up. Because if you're understanding, hey, this is a motion sensor. I don't care if it's IR, ultrasonic, whatever it is.
Probably IR.
Yeah, it probably is.
It's probably IR with the cheaper technology.
It might be. But whatever it is, if you see something, I mean, I have a xylophone from that my daughter used to use up here that is capacitance. It's not a percussion xylophone. It's capacitance. And I noticed that I don't even have to touch it to make it go off. And I'm like, I'm going to turn this into something because if the REM pod goes off, then I can ask this, which has, 8 different lights on it. Can you hit green? And if it hits green, that's pretty impressive. So you don't have to spend all those thousands or hundreds of dollars on something. Find technology that everybody else is using and charging that money for and try it.
Here's one. The
I'm right back.
I always say, Joe, with these expensive locations and shit like that, what the hell are we going to provide to the field that the 3 other people before us this week aren't going to provide?
Hey, Brent, what about the mag light? The most simplest tool there is.
Yep.
And how often do we get beyond excellent, great results with that alone?
Oh, dude, ever since you came onto this team and we started using the flashlight more often, it's great. I love the flashlight. It's an incandescent light. It does not have a heat sensor. It does not have a temperature sensor to tell it to turn on and turn off. It's one of the go-tos for sure.
And you know what? I appreciate that because something? That's not something I learned on my own. Something I learned from the other team. Mm-hmm. And I brought it over to this team. And that's you guys have said it time in and time out again. It's about learning from one another.
Exactly. That's
You
all
know?
it is. That's what this field's about is learning from each other and putting in the work that needs to be done to make the field better.
And I've learned
If your intentions aren't to make the field better with the work that you do, then you're in it for the wrong place. And you got to use the theories and the techniques that work.
Yeah, and that's one of the things like I've with Antietam. Antietam, I don't want to toot my own horn here or anything like that, but I feel like Antietam loves me go along with them to do things, you know. But it's Pasadena Paranormal first. You guys are number one, you know. I mean, well, it's Desiree and her team first. You guys are number two, and then Antietam, if they want me to go out with them, and whoever else is number three.
Yeah.
We have something set up for September 17th. Antietam, hey, sorry guys, I got something going on. I would love to go out with them guys.
We'll go out with them.
So
you and Brent are number one, though. We have something planned for that day.
man, look at the alcohol flowing here. I love it.
Sorry,
The lady
guys.
My
just
goodness.
just exploding. Look,
Yeah, but
look, we're talking about technology, different tech, Furby.
we'll work with Antietam. We'll work with Antietam one day. I
Oh no,
promise you.
and that's the thing is, if we can get more teams in this field, past the egos, past the, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here. I mean, number one, past the egos, right? And you're about the betterment of the field. That's what makes us better. Not Pasadena Paranormal, but paranormal as a whole better. Is you work with one another, you bring one another together. You find out, hey,
The entire community.
these guys have this, but we have this.
Yeah,
How do we combine the two?
exactly.
You know?
And I think I said the last time, it's like, we're sitting here and we're touting our knowledge and experience, but we're watching everybody else
Mhm.
in this chat. Y'all know we're subscribed and we're watching. We're seeing what everybody's doing and we're learning. What are they doing? What are they applying? What are they gaining? What can we gain from that as well? And what can we try ourselves to make this scientific? Did you do this? Okay, let me try that and see if it actually works.
Mr.
Exactly.
Bad
And the situation that I feel is active, does that work? Will a Furby work in here? I have one for you. Has anybody tried a speak and spell? Remember them old 1980 speak and spell? I almost bought it. I was like, I should buy this
That's a good
and connect the sensor to it so that they can type out or whatever and say a word or spell a word.
Right.
A speak and spell.
I will reimburse you half the price of the speak and spell.
That's a great
Like you
idea.
said earlier, Ed, the mad scientist.
Who's done that?
Yes.
In the comments. I mean, there's
That's
how many
the thing.
people are in here? 12 people.
I mean, and Jared, you called him that in the Baltimore, was it the Voyage magazine or whatever it was? You called Brent Smith our mad scientist. Brent,
Yes.
there's no better word for you than a mad scientist.
So, Krabby
If you
said
guys
that
were to sit down with me and show me, hey, here, Ed, here's how we do circuits and stuff like that, I would learn it. If I was to pick it up on my own, not a damn clue. Right?
Yeah.
But here's
Well,
the thing.
we've been this is what we've been doing for shit. We've been working in security forever, and a lot of these devices that we're coming up with are things that we've ran.
We understand how it works. That's
We
the key.
understand
We
how-
understand how the technology works.
in every day-to-day life.
And Ed, you may be able to comment on this. If there's a technology out there, it's a guarantee that the government or military has utilized it in some fashion. Therefore, we have an
cannot
understanding of
comment
it.
on that, nor do I want to comment on that.
Exactly. Fair enough.
Well, here's the thing: is as this team, I mean, the two of you guys right here. I mean, you're above me, so I hope.
Oh, look down, Jared. Look like you.
You guys are
The
smart.
Brady Bunch.
You guys know how to do all this kind of stuff and everything. You know, me, I don't. If you want to make a bullet fly a certain velocity, and I'm your guy.
Don't say too much, Ed. Don't say too much.
I can make bullets do certain things. How about
Yeah.
that? Does that work?
So can I, but it's just a matter of what's in that safe over there.
I mean, that's the
I
thing.
want to say this real quick. So Crafty made a point like, okay, there's an app like that. I'm assuming Crafty's talking about the Speak and Spell. I'm not.
Is there
I don't.
An app?
Hold on, an app. Now I want to say this with an app. All right. If there's an app that does something, it should say how it's doing it. All right. So if it can say this is how it's operating, and it's, let's say it's, a lot of them are working off of EMF, which is just the gyroscope that's in your phone
Gyroscope.
that can be affected by a magnet.
Yeah.
If it's saying that EMF can affect it, the app, and it's creating spirit can affect the EMF, the sensor picks it up and it creates a word, then I can be able to take a magnet and create a word, because just moving this around my phone creates an electromagnetic field. You should be able to trigger a word and understand how that works. If you can do that, and then how much of an EMF, how strong of an electromagnetic field is it? This is producing over 200 milligauss right here. This
Should be able.
This fan itself, and I have a control on the back that adjusts the wattage that's going to this fan, right? This motor, so I can turn it up and down. So I can change the electromagnetic field. So I should be able to turn it down and trigger a word. Turn it, trigger a word. Turn it, trigger a word. Test it out. Let's see what happens. I want to know.
Exactly. Test your app out. Turn a fan on and take your phone and bring it closer.
Ask Jared. I took this sensor and I put it in my bedroom. All right. And I plugged it in and I told Jared, hey, I'm going to let this run for a couple hours to see if anything happens.
Yep.
Why? Because I want to baseline it. I want to know if it's going off every hour and turning red because of something in this unit that just naturally cycles.
Yeah.
Right? You need to know that before you take this out in the field and see it change colors and say, oh, crap, a ghost just walked in front of it because nothing was there.
Yep.
If you baseline your technology, understand how it works, plug this in and know that I've let it run.
A Spirit Talker app,
whatever it is.
Any Ovilus-based app.
And Jared, I know you've done this too. We've taken the Echo Box and turned it on.
Right.
We've taken the Echo Box and turned it on and let it run.
And put it close to an EM source and just take it back and forth and see what happens.
So can I say
That's
something about the not the Echo Box, but the what the hell was it? What? Not the Spirit Box. It was the other one. The Ovilus. Yes.
Oh, the Ovilus. Okay.
So the second time I went out with you guys, Benson Hammond, I pull up in the driveway and Jarrett walks out to greet me. He goes, oh, yeah, it told us you were here. Hold on, what? Oh, yeah, I said Ed's here. No, that shouldn't happen at all. I shouldn't say Ed's here at all. I mean, and things like that gives some validity to what's going on.
Yeah.
Another one is, and Brent, I know Jarrett stepped away, but you don't have Facebook. Rebecca from the Pasadena Paranormal.
Yeah.
Once every month and a half, 2 months about orbs, right?
Okay.
You can smack a blanket. I don't care how clean you are in your house. You got dust in your blanket, right?
And I'm gonna say this because the field I'm in for the past 20 years strongly involves one factor of it is cameras. All right. I know how what can look like what in an IR camera.
Yeah.
All right. Or even a regular visible spectrum light camera. I know. And I've seen, a spider walk across a camera that looks like something 100 yards away, a ghost, like a blobby, spectral thing. It was just a friggin' spider walking across the lens of a camera. So I'm well aware of what can look like something. Dust. That's why 99% of orbs, I knock them out. But I'm not trying to tell other people what to think. It's just what I know about the technology.
And that's one of the things, great things about Rebecca. They've been in the field for 15 plus years, I want to say. She posts up videos and images of like, hey, here's what happens. Here's why we don't say orbs are a real thing. When I review audio, and I'll send it to two of you guys. Hey, I saw this orb, but there's always a caveat to when I see an orb.
Caveat or caveat?
Caveat, however you say. I don't care.
I know. Tomato, bowling shoe, whatever.
Well, I'm two of these emptied right now.
Look,
okay?
I had to grab one of my wife's Angry Orchards.
Hey, don't knock those. Those are delicious.
At this point, it is. Actually, it is good. You can probably crush 1 billion of these. Holy crap! This just tastes like apple juice.
It's one of them things of where are you seeing something, or are you just seeing a reflection of the environment?
My bad.
So if I smack my hand down on the blanket and dust is settled on that blanket over the last 8 hours, I'm going to get orbs.
Yep,
definitely.
I don't care how clean you are. Your house has dust in it.
Any place that we go is going to be filled with dust because they don't have a lot of foot traffic.
So, so here's another thing. So, all right, so Dark Shadows has a 4K Ultra camcorder with infrared. That's great. You're talking a large amount of pixels. You can get a lot of definition in this. So he's using the Necrophonics and a K2 meter. That's awesome. I mean, I think it's great. We don't use the Necrophonics.
Nope.
Because it has a word bank, we don't use the Necrophonics. That's just just where we're at. But I want to see what you come up with there. And I really want people, I would love to see people start saying, here's my baseline. Here's what I've shown that this technology, how I can trick it. I found a way to trick it. But if you understand how to trick it, you can create an environment that will not allow that to happen. And then if it still goes off, now you have something.
Yeah.
So one of the things I love about investigating with you guys, Brent, you weren't there. Garrett, you were. Benson Hammond house. I walked through the house and we're like, hey, we got some orbs on this camera.
Fair enough, Dark. I don't think I'm on you.
And I walked through and I kicked the floor up, and Jan, who runs the Benson Hammond, does a great job of sweeping the floors and dusting and everything else. I'm like, we can't recreate this. So where did these orbs come from?
I got you.
And that's one of the things about this field. Can you recreate what gave you evidence? If you can't, do you have evidence? You have the potential for evidence, but you don't necessarily have the evidence that you need.
Exactly.
There's more investigation and what's the word? You need to dive deeper into what you have in order to find out what's going on.
Yeah, I get you on that one. Let me see. Hold on a second here. Honey, throw your link in there. Jackie, throw your link in there. Everybody, please subscribe to Jackie, please.
Nope, not going to do it. Already did.
She's got great shorts, right, honey?
Looks great in full spectrum.
Hey, now that's
my
fiance. I love you, honey. Hold on, Jack.
So, I mean, and here's one of the things is we all bring something new to the table. They say, hey, yeah, we saw this, or no, we didn't see this.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you. No, sorry, I want to make a comment here to Kindred.
No, go ahead, Brent. You're fine. You're fine.
So Kindred says we use dowsing rods. Dang it, it just scrolled up. We use dowsing rods, but that's hard to prove to someone else that we're not faking. You know what we do with our dowsing rods? We don't hold them. We put them in a stand.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Pasadena Paranormal doesn't hold them. I have held them myself personally. I don't put it on our team because that's not what our team does. Okay?
Subscribe to Jax as well.
I've held them myself personally to see what they do. So here's my theory on it: is if there's human interaction involved in it, I'd write it off. Okay.
Okay.
But the way that we do it, where they're in the glasses, they can't be touched, 100% legit. Now, I've done it before where I've been in Gettysburg and I've held them, closed. And I know there's no way that I have moved them myself personally. But I'm not going to throw that out there into the public because of the simple fact that it's argumentative.
It is. If
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
argumentative. Anything's argumentative if you're holding it and it's like with something like that. Okay, it moved because we understand it could be triggered.
Exactly.
It's again, are you trying to prove something to others or prove something to show something to yourself? If that's all you need is yourself, then go for it. But if you're trying to showcase something to someone else, if you're trying to show evidence, which again, we're not about evidence anymore. We're about documenting what we find.
Yeah.
We put them in there, because if they move, we're going to be like, okay, did we just feel a shudder on that table? If it moved across and uncrossed, did it do it on a request? Nothing should move those. It's been still for 3 hours and nothing should make those cross and uncross. But if it happens.
So here's the great thing is if I take my dowsing rods tomorrow, which I probably won't, but let's say me and Jared are out tomorrow, right?
Well, if I built a forge in the ground at my old house, bro, I used to make knives. Go ahead.
And I get my rods to move. And I'm like, okay, is there something here? That gives me the opportunity to ask more questions.
Let me just say that at Rose Farm, you'd have a very good possibility for them suckers to move.
But that's the thing.
Bring them. Then take them to Rose Farm this weekend.
Yeah. If I ask them, do they move? And you and I get responses to them. Okay, well, now they're going to decide because now I want Ed. I want me to feel what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if you get the Echovox or whatever it is, you decide that you want to use going at that time.
I don't know if you've ever been to Rose Farm, if you ever stepped foot on Rose Farm, but when you step foot on the Rose Farm tomorrow, when you step foot on the Rose Farm tomorrow, you're going to feel it. I'm going to tell you right now, there's 600 Confederate soldiers buried on that property, right behind the house.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I've never been to Rose Farm. I think it's the views you've shown. I mean, it's such an awesome looking location.
Mm-hmm. That's where we'll go first, and then we'll probably go to McPherson second, which is off the beaten path. There's not going to be a lot of foot traffic. It's one of the little hidden gems in Gettysburg. And again, folks, tomorrow we're going to be going live. Me and Ed, Jackie will be there. Brent, it will be in South Carolina watching in the chat.
Being like this?
We will be in Gettysburg tomorrow and doing some lives. They're going to be unscheduled. So tomorrow, after
Agreed, Joe.
Keep an eye out on YouTube because I have to drop my son off to work at 11. But after 12 o'clock, I'd say probably closer to 1:30. Keep an eye on YouTube because there's going to be something popping up saying Pasadena Paranormal's live.
Yeah, just hit me up and let me know. I'll double check it in the morning and everything.
Meet me up at the Jenny Wade. Well, actually, you can't meet me at Jenny Wade because they got a concert going on there. Meet me at Devil's Den, 12:30.
Okay.
Who's Derek, by the way?
I have no idea who Derek is. I guess that is Dark Shadows, maybe?
Is that Dark Shadows?
Yes, it is. Derek.
All right, Dark Shadow, Derek.
All right. Well, it is 2 hours and 33 minutes and 50.
The longest ever.
You know what?
This is the longest BTI that we've ever had.
But I feel like it's been a good one.
We've had a good time. Has everybody had a good time? Let us know in the chat if you had a good time tonight.
I have. I've enjoyed it.
I know I did.
If anybody gets this unit, and we'll be using this on the 27th, I want to know if anybody uses this unit or a unit like this. I'm going to say that. I want to see what happens. Let's all work together in trying to make paranormal great again, not having to spend $300 to $2,000 on tech, and actually seeing how this technology really works, so that everybody can do this. And whether it's make your own or buy it like this, let's work together. I'm going to say that.
Exactly. And
What
tomorrow,
was that
Go
shirt say, Jared?
I think a great man once said this about America, but it says, make paranormal great again.
And that's how we do it, by bringing things that are affordable to the field.
Exactly.
Not $500.
Affordable, understanding, and application. Come on.
And putting out real paranormal videos.
We love you guys.
We do. We do. So tomorrow, keep an eye out. We'll be live. I promise you. I have the Echovox charged upstairs. I have the Pasadena Paranormal Ghost Box charged upstairs. That's all I'm bringing. Ed can bring whatever he wants, but
I'm going to try and be there. Look,
Derek, I'll be checking you out, bro.
Not 100% positive and guaranteeing, but I'm gonna try and be there, because for some reason or another, last weekend I had this feeling, hey, go out with Jared one weekend. You know,
let's go. Meet me up there, brother.
Yeah.
I'll show you. I'll put you on two places on Gettysburg Battlefield that nobody ever goes to, and you're gonna be like, this place is
You're looking out for me and Joe to get together. Joe's my neighbor, so we're gonna.
I may message you in the morning, Jared, and be like, hey, I might ride with you guys. So just
you can hop in the Jeep.
Yep, let me know.
I'll be back. I'm taking Colton to work around 10:30.
All right,
back here, and then. Yep.
Hey,
if
you and I are around the corner from one another, we ain't that far from one another, you know.
Just meet me here, and we can drive up.
Yep.
All right. So tomorrow, Gettysburg live, 2 locations, 2 30-minute live streams.
Maybe 2. Was it? Well, half, because Jackie's part of the team. So maybe half of Pasadena or
75%.
75% of us might be there.
Joe.
But that's it for tonight, folks. Holy crap, we're almost at 3 hours.
I love it.
You don't let me drink and talk. And clearly don't let Ed drink and talk. Ed's been active.
Hey,
sorry.
It went pretty quick though, didn't it?
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I had no idea it was too.
Hey, I'm taking donations from Old Smoky and Moonshine, by the way. Okay.
Continue that. Focus on your channel. Put out great content.
Exactly.
Do it.
Dark Shadows. As long as you're putting out great content, me, Brent, Ed's not on YouTube a lot, but me and Brent will be checking in periodically.
I don't know. To anyone.
We'll throw a thumbs up on that. I'll share your stuff out. As long as you're putting out real stuff.
I mean, whatever your content is, y'all do you. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, and do what your heart's leading to do. We said that earlier. Whatever your calling is, go for it.
Yeah.
If you're supporting real paranormal investigation, you're guaranteed to get our following. Guaranteed.
The universe and the Lord will find you.
Draw us to you.
All right. So that's it for the night. I hope everybody had a good time this evening.
I appreciate everybody.
Appreciate everybody for popping in. It was a good chat all night. So for me,
and Brent,
and Ed,
we wish you adieu, and we will not let you walk into that darkness alone. See you tomorrow at Gettysburg, folks. Have a good one.